Hello and welcome to News Morning here on New Day on TV3. My name is Beatrice Sedu. Coming up in the next few minutes. Gold Board CEO says he has asked a new majority leader to allow him to appear before Parliament to answer questions on Gold Board's operations as he denies claims Gold Board incurred a 22 billion Ghana cedi loss. Also on the program this morning, Ofankor road accident victims continue recovery as calls grow for support, better trauma care and stronger road safety measures. And graduates who are with disabilities call for better employment opportunities. My name is Beatrice Sedu. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. Now, the Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Gold Board has challenged Minority Leader Alexander Afenyo-Markin to invite him to Parliament to answer questions over claims that the institution incurred losses from its gold trading operations. Sami Jemfi, during the Government Accountability Series, mounted a spirited defense of his stewardship, saying he is ready to appear before Parliament to prove that claims linking Gold Board to losses under the Bank of Ghana's domestic gold purchase program are unfounded.
There have been calls for an inquiry into the circumstances leading to the loss of some $1.7 billion under the domestic gold purchase program DDEP. Claims, counter-accusations and several interpretations have emerged from a report authored by the IMF on the economic financing of the country. The minority says it will not relent in its call for accountability. In a fierce rebuttal, Chief Executive Officer of the Gold Board, Sami Jemfi, says the IMF's report clearly identified the domestic gold purchase program as the source of the losses rather than the Gold Board.
I challenge Afenyo-Markin to point to any page, paragraph, sentence, phrase, or punctuation mark in the said reference reports of the IMF where the Gold Board was accused by the IMF as the entity responsible for losses incurred by the Bank of Ghana. And that the 2025 loss of $1.7 billion was as a result of, I'm quoting the IMF verbatim, the scaling up of the domestic gold purchase program, not incompetence or mismanagement. According to the IMF, that loss was as a result of the scaling up, the expansion of the program.
He questioned the understanding of the MPP minority, urging the public to disregard what he describes as false claim.
You don't look at that and say, oh, that means Gold Board was doing something wrong. I can tell you that as we speak, the IMF and the Bank of Ghana are all engaging Gold Board that they still want to be our fiscal agents under the Gold Board model, where they will be raising money for us as an intermediary. It is the Gold Board that is rather saying, no, we will do it ourselves. So that claim is not.
The minority in its address hinted at a possible criminal inquiry into the activities of Gold Board. The CEO has called their bluff.
Afenyo-Markin's continuing antics must therefore be seen for what they are: a desperate smear campaign by persons who have specialized in sophistry and political blackmail in pursuit of selfish ends. These are devious extortionists who will come at you with lies to tarnish your reputation in the hope that you will fold and settle for what they call, quote, compulsory arbitration.
Sami Jemfi, however, outlined prospects of the activities of Gold Board going forward.
I have, in all humility, reached out to the new majority leader in Parliament, Honorable James Agaga, and I've pleaded with him that even if Afenyo delays in extending this invitation, he should extend the invitation to me. And I'm ready to come tomorrow. You don't need any special motion. You don't need any special order by the speaker. Just get Public Accounts Committee to invite us and come and sit down there and come and demonstrate to the whole nation where the Gold Board made losses or how the Gold Board is to blame for losses made by another institution.
Meanwhile, the minority in Parliament has maintained its demand for accountability over the reported 22 billion Ghana cedi loss under the domestic gold purchase program. Caucus to statements made by the Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Gold Board, Sammy Gyamfi, during the Government Accountability Series on Wednesday, the 19th of August. The minority says the Gold Board CEO's response confirms, rather than refutes, the reported $1.7 billion loss identified by the International Monetary Fund under the program in 2025. The Minority Caucus says the issue is not which state institution carries the loss, but who should account for the loss of public funds. The minority also challenged Gold Board's explanation of the fees it received from the program. It says Gold Board accounted for about 133 billion Ghana cedis in advances in 2025 and received an assay fee of 0.258% and a service fee of 0.5%. The caucus argues that these figures suggest Gold Board earned about 1 billion Ghana cedis in fees from the program, while reporting an operational surplus of 907 million Ghana cedis. The minority continued to say that the operational surplus is smaller than the fees received from a program which, according to the IMF report, recorded losses of 22 billion Ghana cedis. It is therefore demanding further clarification from Gold Board on the financial performance of the program. We stay in Parliament, and the chair of the Select Committee on Finance, Isaac Adongo, is calling for legal reforms to guarantee sustainable funding for the Public Interest and Accountability Committee, PIAC. Now, Adongo says placing PIAC's funding arrangement on a clear legal footing will protect the institution from being financially constrained and ensure it can continue to perform its mandated oversight functions.
Established in September 2011 under Section 51 of the Petroleum Revenue Management Act 2011, Act 815. PIAC was funded through the Annual Budget Funding Amount, ABFA. However, following the amendment of the law, which scrapped the ABFA and redirected the funds into a special account to finance government's Big Push program, PIAC lost its legally backed source of funding.
Even though the finance minister has shown a lot of commitment to PIAC, because he himself was on this committee for so many years, he has that empathy towards PIAC. But the finance minister can change anytime. So we need to have a mechanism that puts it in law, the funding arrangement for PIAC, and not dependent on a good minister who is willing to support PIAC. So that is the next stage of the conversation, to be able to ensure the sustainability of this arrangement. Chairman
of PIAC is Richard Elima.
The committee has produced and published its statutory reports, undertaken project inspections, engaged citizens and communities across the country, organized public fora, participated in public policy discussions, and consistently brought issues surrounding petroleum revenue management into the public space. These interventions have contributed to strengthening transparency and accountability in the management of Ghana's petroleum revenues. Our journey, however, has not been without challenges. The committee has had to adapt to these changing circumstances while remaining faithful to its statutory mandate.
Also speaking at the launch of PIAC at 15, economist at the University of Ghana, Professor Peter Korte, called for PIAC's oversight of oil revenues to be replicated in the management of other mineral resources to strengthen transparency and accountability.
For the past 15 years, we have highlighted where there are problems. There have been instances where oil money has been used judiciously. There have been instances where they say there is a project here, you go and the project is not there. We have highlighted all of that. As we saw, after this launch, we are going to have a comprehensive report on abandoned projects, on oil projects. We're going to track all of them over time. I think PIAC is doing very well.
Now, the Roads and Highways Minister, Kwame Gavin Sagbuja, has expressed anger over the slow pace of work on sections of the Tema Aplao Road, criticizing contractor First Sky Construction for what he described as little progress over the past 4 months. He says the remarks as he began a nationwide road inspection tour in the Greater Accra region aimed at assessing the progress of major road projects and identifying challenges affecting their completion. Christian Yale has the rest of the story.
Most of these road projects fall under the big push and are expected to be completed between November and December 2027. The Roads and Highways Minister Gavins Kwame Agboja toured selected projects within the Greater Accra region to assess the extent of work and progress made so far. Concerning the Lot 2 project, which is part of the Accra Aflao project from the motorway extending all the way to the Central University area, the minister expressed dissatisfaction with the slow pace of work by First Sky Construction, indicating that for over 4 months, no substantial work has been done over the stretch.
This road is just about 17 kilometers. What we've been complaining about is that right from the beginning, I get the impression the contractors do not intend to do the work because I don't see any activity. We can't leave 4 months and come back. I can't see much work going on here.
The minister then visited a concrete bridge that is being constructed to link Dowenya and Afenya communities to Dodowa Road and expressed satisfaction with work done by Oswald Investment Limited.
Will you finish ahead of schedule? As promised, the president. Yeah, it will be done by December, Afenya. We can achieve it easily. So from Ashama Junction to Afenya Junction will be done before the end of the year. Ashama Junction is Dodowa Junction.
Well, this is the Adentan Dodowa Road. It is one problematic issue for motorists, as you see, because when it rains, it comes with issues, and when it is very sunny as well, the dust would be all over. The minister wants the contractor to work on one side of the road, one lane, open that to the motoring public while it works on the other aspects of the road.
So I can understand when people are worried about this, but the good thing is that there's good progress going on. As the contractor said, by the end of the year, at least one side will be completed and be open to traffic. So by Christmas, one lane will be finished, and it's good. The quality is also very well.
On the Accra-Tema motorway, the minister urged the contractor, Maripoma, to scale up its works in the night and lessen the day activities.
We will do our very possible best. And then it's also contingent on what you will do as a ministry for us.
Okay.
Release more money.
Yes. Release more money. So as far as we are concerned, yes. President Mahama prioritizes this work. Yes. So payments due on projects like this are never in doubt in terms of payment.
We currently don't have any delay in any project in any other region. We are actually ahead of our schedules. We believe in planning. We don't work to impress people.
Government has committed about 23 billion cedis into road projects across the country thus far. The minister has indicated that the NDC administration is committed to improving road infrastructure. Christian Yale, TV3 News, Accra.
In other news, the Accra High Court has adjourned the bail application pending the appeal of former NPP Ashanti Regional Chairman Wontumi to October 15, 2026. Lawyers for Chairman Wontumi were expected to move the bail application on Wednesday, but both lead counsel Samuel Atachia and his client were absent from court. NPP Director of Legal Affairs, Gary Nimakon, was however present on behalf of the applicant. The court clerk then informed the parties that the trial judge is not sitting this week due to her unavailability. Wontumi was given a 20-year jail term by the Accra High Court after he was convicted of illegal mining-related offences. He has since filed an appeal against the High Court judgment and is seeking bail pending the determination of his appeal. And we stay at the courts because the Accra Circuit Court has also remanded 49-year-old Nigerian Augustine Okechukwu Mazi into police custody for 2 weeks. The Nigerian suspect was arraigned before the court following a failed robbery operation at Laboni, which led to the killing of 2 suspects and others. Lord Edwasari has the rest of the story.
Augustine Okechukwu Mazi has been charged with 8 counts of conspiracy to commit robbery for his alleged role in robbery attacks in Tema, Spintex and Laboni, all in Accra. He has however pleaded not guilty. Per the prosecution's facts, Okechukwu and 5 others belong to a robbery syndicate that trails and robbed their victims after bank transactions. They reportedly operate in Ivory Coast and Togo and had been under police surveillance since May 2026 when they attacked victims at Spintex. The police gunned down 2 suspects after an exchange of gunfire at Laboni on August 13 after foiling another robbery attack. 3 other suspects are at large. Lawyer for the accused prayed for bail, but it was refused after the prosecution indicated that he was a flight risk since he was staying in a hotel and that investigations are still underway, arguing that releasing him on bail would jeopardize the progress. The judge then remanded Augustine Okechukwu Mazi into police custody after suggesting that the lawyers had not been able to demonstrate that the accused had a fixed place of abode. The accused person is to reappear on September 2. Lord Edwasari, TV3 News, Accra.
Now, some victims of the Ofankor barrier motor vehicle crash on August 13 are still recovering, with some making better progress than others. 12-year-old Angelina Na Adoko lost both legs and her father in the crash. Still battling pain and struggling to come to terms with her new reality, she is uncertain about what the future holds and is appealing for urgent support. Some viewers may find portions of this story disturbing, and so viewer discretion is advised.
Sorry. In excruciating pain at the Gar East Municipal Hospital, young Angelina has been calling for her father every day since the accident. She does not know that he did not survive the crash. Doctors say she is severely traumatized and is receiving psychological support alongside treatment for her physical injuries. According to her aunt, Sandra, Angelina had joined her ailing father on an early morning trip when the accident occurred.
Wednesday, I was my friend,
I spoke with him the day before. He said he wasn't well, so I called the next morning to check on him, but he wouldn't pick his phone. My younger brother then called and informed me of the accident and said my brother had passed on.
Police hospital or
Sandra is appealing to government, corporate organizations and other well-meaning individuals to support Angelina's recovery and help her reintegrate into society and return to school when she is medically fit.
I am pleading with all organizations and philanthropists to assist with her medical bills, prosthetics, or a wheelchair, and her educational needs.
Orthopedic trauma surgeon Dr. Ariel Francisco Morihon Perez, who helped save Angelina's life, explains the extent of the injuries she sustained.
In the moment of the accident, the patient is coming from the traumatic amputation bilateral leg below knee. She lost the leg in the accident. She has another big injury in the right forearm, and she has a acetabulum fracture left and a forearm fracture in the left hand. What we do in the first time is try to control the bleeding from the amputation. We go into the theater and re-amputating and close the stump. But the wound is very dirty, and we need to cleaning well, debridement, and now in the condition actually he have a small infection in part of the left leg.
For senior specialist and medical superintendent of the Gar East Municipal Hospital, Dr. Ayuba Abdullahi, the 12-year-old's case is particularly heartbreaking.
She had amputation of both limbs because already the distal part of the legs were all left in the crash scene. I don't know whether they have even recovered it. It happened that, unfortunately, the father of this girl was part of the people who died instantly. The story is sad, and the information we're getting that they were actually visiting the hospital place to see the mom who was in the morgue, and the father was not feeling well, so she was accompanying the dad. That's the story we have. And as we speak, the father is no more.
He is also appealing to government to resource community hospitals such as Gar East with the equipment and specialist services needed to manage major trauma cases and reduce the need for constant referrals.
One of the things that is hampering us maybe the ability to attend to trauma cases. If, for instance, we have mobile X-ray machine, sometimes you are able to, on the spot, pick up the excesses of the injuries that the people have and at the emergency, then wheel into the imaging center, and all these things can impair the care. CM machine, for instance, for the orthopedic surgeon to do advanced surgeries in theater and observing everything that's going, the level, the angle, the results in theater, we don't have it.
Apart from Angelina, 3 other victims were brought to the Gar East Municipal Hospital. 2 have since been discharged after sustaining minor injuries. Another victim, Naomi Amidu, is stable and is expected to make a full recovery, but she too needs financial support to meet the cost of her treatment.
Metro, bedroom to toy now. Make a chapman some woman.
The government should help with my medical bills. I am in so much pain. Although medication helps, it is quite costly.
At the Achimota Hospital, 4 victims were also admitted. 2 have since been transferred to the Ridge Hospital, while the other 2 have been discharged. As the survivors continue to recover, calls are growing for stronger road safety enforcement and improved lighting along major highways to help prevent similar tragedies. Nura Mohammed, TV3 News, Accra.
Now, the 24-hour Economy Secretariat says it is focused on transforming the Ghanaian economy to enable a successful rollout of the One Job, Three Shifts initiative. It follows what has been sustained criticism of the NDC's flagship program, which promised to create 3 shifts to employ additional people to deal with unemployment. The Secretariat says that the transformation work is in progress and will achieve its results.
It was a huge deal during elections 2024. From campaign platforms to election songs, the 24-hour economy policy promised jobs for the teeming Ghanaian youth. More than 18 months down the line, questions have arisen about where the jobs are and if the promised One Job, Three Shifts will ever be fulfilled. But according to the authority, the goal of One Job, Three Shifts is gradual and will take off following a successful transformation of the approach of development for the country.
Then there's a 133. We all want the economy to move to a level of capacity utilization that allows factories to operate at 90, 100%, and to invest in new production lines that allow them to do not just 1 shift, 2 shifts, 3 shifts, but it's a journey. You can't leap from 30% capacity utilization to 100% capacity utilization in 1 year. What are the constraints? Sometimes there's a factory that came to see us from Kumasi. They process soya beans into oil and into soybean meal for the poultry industry. Then the price of soybeans started going up. So it was no longer profitable for them to buy the soybean and crush it. So the factory is closed. Our role is to make sure that the supply of soybeans through our agri-parks are such that you can feed the factories consistently at prices that are affordable for the factory to turn a profit. So it's a systematic reconstruction of our productive system that allows us to generate the output and the surpluses that create efficiency, productivity, and competitiveness. And the 133 comes after you have done that, not before. And that's something we must understand.
Presidential advisor on the project explains that investment and commitments to actual development projects with guaranteed jobs have already begun taking shape.
So everything we're doing is planned, is executable, and what we've done is being very quiet about what we're doing. Why did we do that? We saw what happened with 1D, 1F. Today they will announce, we built something there, then they're going to put a signboard. We're not interested in that. If we put a signboard, it means it's actually going to happen or it's happening. Not because we wish it, not because we're being sentimental, not because we want to score political points, but to make sure that actual project will be executed. So it's a journey. And it's also a destination, as the president said. As for criticism, you get it. You cannot change anything in this world if you are going to basically shy away from criticism. When you are changing things, there are vested interests who do not want you to succeed.
On the 24-hour market, he clarified the authority is not directly responsible for the construction of the markets.
We are not part of deciding where it goes, and so on and so forth. Eventually, if those markets are established and have the modern facilities that they will have, then of course, especially cold chain facilities and so on, it will contribute to the supply chain efficiency we want to achieve. But for the moment, we have no responsibility whatsoever.
And that's all for News Morning here on New Day on TV3. My name is Beatrice. Thank you very much for joining us on the program. Do continue with us on New Day.
Hello, my name is Pamela from Customer Service. Please revalidate your account by texting your Ghana card number to 0500,000 247.
Hey, Abili, wabedim.
Madam, give me the numbers behind your ATM card. I'm calling from the head office.
An email was delivered across to our customers this morning.
Confirm if this is your bank account. 100,100,100.
Thanks for
choose to favor you that day, anything at all can happen.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if you're in Ghana, you are in the UK, you are in the US. Accidents are accidents.
Yeah.
And this song is resonating with me this morning because of that story we saw yesterday, and then this morning as you read on the news as well.
Yeah.
How do you wake up to a mother who's going to be with the Lord? You're on your way to the morgue, you know, to go and keep her safely there. And then you encounter an accident that takes your dad away. So it means that two parents are gone.
Same day.
As if that is not enough, you have been badly injured that two of your limbs are gone. And yesterday, I couldn't even watch that news item because the way she was wailing and crying. And I'm asking, you know? And sometimes these are the things that will make you ask questions and question God. And I'm told that the girl is the eldest in the family.
Yeah, 12-year-old.
Yeah, 12-year-old. She's the eldest. Two limbs are gone. Both parents are gone, laying in the hospital in agony and crying. And if this is a girl of faith, I'm sure she would ask so many questions.
Yeah.
And that's why we are appealing and pleading with the entire country this morning that as we say in our local parlance, whatever it is that you can help us or help 3 Foundation with this morning to come to the aid of this ailing child, we would be super grateful. Just in case you are not familiar with the story, we'll be playing it in no time. But Koko, thank you for bringing this song. And so therefore, for all of you watching us this morning, wherever you are in the world, I pray that God himself, his protective and guarding angels will guard and protect you in all your endeavors today. Because I say that, you know, a lot of times we underestimate the power of being able to go out and come back safely. Most of us take it for granted. And I read something the other day that says that before you sleep, throw your slippers or your shoes under the bed so that when you wake up in the morning, you would have to kneel to get them. Do you know what that means?
It means you have to pray.
You have to
Commit
pray.
the day to the Lord.
You would have to commit the day into the hands of the Lord, because this could have happened in the UK. This could have happened in the US. It could happen anywhere. It's not just because this is Ghana and maybe there's reckless driving and all the other
but
challenges.
there's even a story about a young couple
so that's
traveling
what I'm saying.
that just, you know,
We
died.
have helicopter crashes everywhere.
And they were just going for their honeymoon.
So it's important that when you wake up in the morning, you commit your ways and your life into the hands of God. And when God is gracious enough to you for you to be able to go out and come back in, you must give him all the praise and all the glory. It's not cookie sounding, you know, churchy and preaching this morning, but it's just the reality of life. Our hearts go out to the family of that young lady. And what government must do, government must also do.
Fix the street lights.
The street lights must be fixed, especially around that Ofanko side. And it's not just Ofanko.
Yes.
The street lights in the entire country must be fixed. This morning, the entire country has also been plunged into darkness. My light in my house went off around 4, just when I was just about to get dressed. I had to finish dressing up here in TV3 premises. Imagine if I wasn't lucky enough to work with a firm that provides me facilities to be able to just get myself together to sit on TV this morning. I don't think that it would have been possible. We are asking for explanations this morning. So if you know our WhatsApp number, if you don't know it, we'll put it on the screens right now. We are told that it's nationwide. All 16 regions are experiencing the power outage this morning. No explanations yet, but of course, we'll get in touch with Gridco or the ECG to ascertain exactly what's going on. But do let us know if you've been affected by the power outage this morning and how you are also coping. Anyway, good morning to you, Beatrice.
Good morning.
Over to you.
So yes, you're welcome to TV3 Newday. Really a lot. I couldn't actually watch the report.
I know, I saw it.
I could only listen to it, although I was the one presenting the news, and you said last night we bring in the story to us. So yes, I think, Cookie, you've already said enough as regards what you must do. So just bring it in and let's support this young girl. And you know, there was a part of the reports that actually shocked me the more. She doesn't even know that the dad is dead.
Yeah, she doesn't.
She doesn't know.
So imagine.
Yes.
Imagine that.
So I am not sure that she really has come to the full reality of the situation she's found herself in. She might have known that the mom had died and she's lost her legs because she can see. But now to get to find out later
that your dad is
gone.
The dad is and you gone. Know, as nature would have it, let me tell you, by now she has an inclination. Yeah. By now she has an inclination. She kind of feels it, but she's not sure exactly.
Because why am I not seeing my dad standing?
But she's not sure yet. So that is also ringing in her mind. She's thinking about it.
Going through.
Listen, I can't imagine it. But now that the story is up, maybe we would want to take a look and then we'll get into other matters. Please take a listen.
Yes, so that's what we'll be looking at for this morning's segment. And of course, we're linking it to the fact that we need to fix our street lights, because this accident, which claimed 12 lives, happened because there were no street lights there. So let's fix the street lights. And also, we're hoping that in the course of this conversation, we would have the Ghana Grid Company or ECG telling us what has gone wrong, why a lot of us after 4 a.m. had our lights out, and we understand that this is nationwide. So beyond this, which we're treating further this morning's segment, we would also be going into the big issue conversation as well. And of course, we'll be bringing you the story which has been hitting up since really Tuesday, following that conference by the minority leader, Alexander Apenyomarking, and that response from the CEO of Gold Board, and whether or not really that is the situation based on the figures and facts we are being given by both Gold Board and Apenyomarking. And so we'll be having a regular panel join us this morning. This morning as well, we'll have Dr. Peter Atekpe, who is policy and economics analyst, join us to break down what we have heard for us. Dr. Bernard Bediakon, who is a member of parliament for Akwetia in the Eastern region, will also be joining us. A regular panel member, Kwame Nkrumah-Botio Jr., he's a private legal practitioner, he'll be joining us, as well as Dr. Osman Fad, who is the Director of Communications for the MPP in the Bono region. And so he'll be joining us. There's also the information that came out yesterday from the Finance Ministry that the government has indeed fulfilled the repayment of the DDEP. Exactly, yes. 10.8 billion Ghana cedis. But the question is, yes, there's information coming from the Finance Ministry. It's indicating that this would not affect our budget and what we have planned to do within this period. But we'll be asking the question of whether or not really moving forward, because that is a part of what has been paid. Yes, and so far, if you look at how much has been paid, I think from 2025, it's a little over 41 billion. That's against 60-something billion Ghana cedis in terms of the costs for us. So we've paid this much. What is left? Can we meet our obligation and meet them in time? Exactly. So we'll be having that conversation as well with the people who will be joining us. And of course, we'll bring you the latest in sports. So it's a whole package. But of course, we're starting on that note of you having an understanding of really what this young girl, the 12-year-old, is going through, and the need for us, beyond the emotional bits, the need for us to do what we have to do to prevent some of these accidents. But again, we're also giving you cash. Yesterday, we gave you 500 cedis. Please, I shouldn't be talking about cash when the cash lady is here. Yes.
Money cookie.
Yes, she should be telling us about that.
You just have to dial star 439 hash if you're a Telecel or MTN subscriber. 3 of you will be winning 500 Ghana cedis this morning. Star 439 hash. 3 of you are winning 500 Ghana cedis. You choose option 2, which is the TV3 option, and you're good to go. But tomorrow, God willing, will be the big jackpot. Cash money cookie, I am back, and it will be raining cash here tomorrow on TV3 Newday. 10,000 Ghana cedis in total. 10,000 Ghana cedis in total. So please make sure that you're tuned in. Once you see our gorgeous, beautiful faces, once we intro the show, you start dialing star 439 hash, and it will be the MG jackpot. So you will choose the MG jackpot, which is 8. But for today, you're choosing option 2, which is the TV3 option. You dial star 439 hash. You play as many times as possible to ensure that you are the person receiving 500 Ghana cedis this morning. Well, star 439 hash if you're a Telecel or MTN subscriber. All right, we are back again here in studio. Roland Walker is also with us. He'll be by the dashboard to bring us some analysis on our discussions this morning. But as reiterated, we want to take the story of that young woman who unfortunately was part of the 12 persons who were injured, badly injured in that of Fanko road accident. She's lost her dad. She's not even aware yet. And unfortunately, her two limbs have been amputated. Her two legs actually have been amputated at the moment. There's also nationwide power outage, and reports are indicating that all 16 regions this morning have been plunged into total darkness. So it means that if you do not have a generator or any other power source like solar, it means that this morning you are indeed handicapped. Can you use our WhatsApp number, send us a message, and let us know what the situation is with you this morning. Welcome to TV3 Newday. This is our This Morning segment.
Sorry.
In excruciating pain at the Gar East Municipal Hospital, young Angelina has been calling for her father every day since the accident. She does not know that he did not survive the crash. Doctors say she is severely traumatized and is receiving psychological support alongside treatment for her physical injuries. According to her aunt, Sandra, Angelina had joined her ailing father on an early morning trip when the accident occurred.
Wednesday, I no so ne ho mfa no tie bo nkomo kakra yimens me friend my yakasa kakra. Enti anopa no me friend ebisa ne say ne ho te say. But me friend na yemfa.
I spoke with him the day before. He said he wasn't well. So I called the next morning to check on him, but he wouldn't pick his phone. My younger brother then called and informed me of the accident and said my brother had passed on.
Police hospital or
Sandra is appealing to government, corporate organizations and other well-meaning individuals to support Angelina's recovery and help her reintegrate into society and return to school when she is medically fit.
I am pleading with all organizations and philanthropists to assist with her medical bills, prosthetics, or a wheelchair, and her educational needs.
Orthopedic trauma surgeon Dr. Ariel Francisco Morihon Perez, who helped save Angelina's life, explains the extent of the injuries she sustained.
In the moment of the accident, the patient is coming from the traumatic amputation bilateral leg below knee. She lost the leg in the accident. She has another big injury in the right forearm, and she has a acetabulum fracture left and a forearm fracture in the left hand. What we do in the first time is try to control the bleeding from the amputation. We go into the theater and re-amputating and close the stump. But the wound is very dirty, and we need to cleaning well, debridement, and now in the condition actually he have a small infection in part of the left leg.
For senior specialist and medical superintendent of the Gar East Municipal Hospital, Dr. Ayuba Abdullahi, the 12-year-old's case is particularly heartbreaking.
She had amputation of both limbs because already the distal part of the legs were all left in the crash scene. I don't know whether they have even recovered it. It happened that, unfortunately, the father of this girl was part of the people who died instantly. the story is that, and the information we're getting that they were actually visiting the hospital place to see the mom who was in the morgue, and the father was not feeling well. So she was accompanying the dad. That's the story we have. And as we speak, the father is no more.
He is also appealing to government to resource community hospitals such as Gar East with the equipment and specialist services needed to manage major trauma cases and reduce the need for constant referrals.
One of the things that is hampering us maybe the ability to attend to trauma cases. If, for instance, we have mobile X-ray machine, sometimes you are able to, on the spot, pick up the excesses of the injuries that the people have and at the emergency, then wheel into the imaging center, and all these things can impair the care. CM machine, for instance, for the orthopedic surgeon to do advanced surgeries in theater and observing everything that's going, the level, the angle, that you saw things in theater, we don't have it.
Apart from Angelina, 3 other victims were brought to the Gar East Municipal Hospital. 2 have since been discharged after sustaining minor injuries. Another victim, Naomi Amidu, is stable and is expected to make a full recovery, but she too needs financial support to meet the cost of her treatment.
Metro, bedroom to toy now. Me catch a mine some woman now.
The government should help with my medical bills. I am in so much pain. Although medication helps, it is quite costly.
At the Achimota Hospital, 4 victims were also admitted. 2 have since been transferred to the Ridge Hospital, while the other 2 have been discharged. As the survivors continue to recover, calls are growing for stronger road safety enforcement and improved lighting along major highways to help prevent similar tragedies. Noura Mohammed, TV3 News, Accra.
It's sad. It's sad.
It's imperative that we draw your attention to some of the challenges that faces the normal Ghanaian on the daily, including traffic lights that are not working in our country's rules and regulations that are not adhered to most of the time. A very sad story, if you ask me. And when the time comes, I'm sure we'll be doing that later, but when the time comes and you have to contribute your quota just to make sure that this girl is up and doing, please make sure that you do so. And Rolly, good morning.
Good morning. It's a very tragic incident.
And
as we
extensively, you had footages and some information about this accident. You were also there to report. What do you remember from that day?
So what the accounts were was that in, I think, the early parts of 4-5 thereabouts, then we had
AM, you mean?
AM.
Okay.
So there was a tricycle or an Okada. No, not the Aboboya. That's the that one, the motorcade, so to speak. That had a collision with, is it a collision or got entangled with a motorcycle, and as a result of that, then
so it was a motorcycle and a tricycle.
It was a motorcycle and a tricycle.
Wow.
They had the initial collision or the crash, so to speak.
Okay.
So because of that, the 2 became stagnant on the road, and there were oncoming vehicles, i.e., or just behind them was the 207 Benz bus. And then subsequently they had other 2 or 3 heavy-duty vehicles. And you know, particularly when you're coming from the Jonte area and you're descending the highway, Pokwase, you come to Jonte, etc. It's a very steep one. And then the drivers also take it that it's a freeway. Unfortunately, illumination was very bad, or visibility was bad, because at the time the street lights were not working. And you know, it's that early part of the morning where for those who live in that section of either the eastern region from Nsawam coming through to Amasaman, Pokwase, etc. They leave home by that time, 4, then they can avoid the traffic from 5:30, so to speak. So when the incident happened, then they had the oncoming 207 colliding or hitting the stagnant or the remnants on the ground. Then it means that they crashed into it. Then we had the heavy-duty vehicles then coming to crash into the 207
and because of the weight, two of them, they mangled everybody else in the car.
No way.
And so I think there were only 7 survivors, but they had a chunk, about 8 of the 10 at the time when we went there, who died from the 207, who had then been reported to have died. And then there were some other, and then you had the Okada driver,
right,
and then the motorcycle driver. And so they added to the 10. Then additional 1 person in that car also passed. And they, you know, the car was mangled. So the fire service and the other rescue team, NADMO, etc., led by the fire service, of course, and kudos to the chief fire officer, Mause, for leading the team as well, and then Alex Kinati, and then Mr. Bonnie as well. Then had to cut through the metals of the mangled 207 to be able to rescue. Now, there was nothing to rescue because some of them had severed limbs. That is 2 of them. And 1 of them were told that they ultimately passed, and then subsequently a survivor as well. And the rest of the bodies were crushed, like the way you do sausage. You see the way you do sausage.
I've seen the photos.
So you will find that you will find the remnants of the meaty human flesh, etc., all scattered on the. It wasn't, and then those that were behind then had different experiences. Either they were trying to swerve and then got hit, some saloon cars, etc. So in all, about 7 vehicles were involved, but particularly the damage was done by the heavy-duty trucks that were behind, hit the behind of the 207, which also had already got entangled into the Aboboya and then also the motorcycle. And I have to say that illumination or the lack of the working of the street lights that day and properly not functioning was a bigger challenge, because, you know, usually even if you're speeding, you have some few meters ahead of you. So if you see a collision and you see an object on the road, or you can even swerve, because it's a 2 or 3 lane, I think. It's a 3 lane, I suppose. If I remember vividly. And so at least you could have made the decision to change routes, get to the next lane, and then perhaps the casualties would have been reduced. But the incident happened. The lights were not the major cause.
Visibility was very poor.
But again, we have the underlying issues that compounded the situation. It's a very, if I remember vividly, it's for those who could not stand the sight of human flesh, blood, etc., was a very terrible incident.
Because there is a very strong smell of human blood.
Yes.
If I mean, just within few meters, you can smell it, and it's so nauseating and so strong.
It's true.
Yes.
So, but I think that the fire service did good work. And then they had the police MTTD also coming on board. The assembly, I think Ga East or Ga Central or something like that, they also came by. I remember the Honorable Kwashi was there, the MC of the area was at the time doing some conferencing somewhere in Kofodia, but then decided to come, was on phone. Then we had NADMO also coming on, and everybody came to help, and especially the eyewitnesses also tried to help as well. It's a very sad incident.
Yes, very, very sad. And our hearts and prayers and our thoughts are with the families.
And it's unfortunate that we're now being left with this. So we have to, if we can help, I think it's
we should
very
help.
prudent.
We must help.
Because now once you have a severed limb, you also
we must help.
that
And she's a child, just 12 years old.
You have to fight for survival. And then subsequently you look at after the survival, prosthesis and other things. And already, you know, you have to go through a lot of pain, and the post-traumatic issues also will be confronting the victim, but also the families and friends.
Yes, yes. But as we talk about this, and of course the absence of street lights or malfunctioning street lights, we also did say that this morning we have had light out, and it seems to be nationwide. There's a statement coming in from the Ghana Grid Company, and I'll just read that to us very briefly. It says system disturbance and power restoration update. So it says the Ghana Grid Company Limited, Gridco, wishes to inform the general public that at approximately 4:30 a.m. today, Thursday, 20th August 2026, the national power system experienced a major fault on the Akosombo Volta transmission line. It goes on to say that the fault resulted in the automatic tripping of the Akosombo generating unit and some thermal generating plant as part of the system's protection mechanisms to safeguard the integrity and stability of the national interconnected transmission system. It says this consequently resulted in the loss of power supply to some parts of the country. The Ghana Grid Company's statement continues to say that immediately following the incident, Gridco engineers working in close coordination with other power sector agencies took steps to isolate the affected transmission line and commenced the safe and systematic restoration of the power system. It says power supply has already been restored, to some affected areas, and restoration efforts are progressing steadily to ensure that supply is restored to all remaining affected customers as quickly and safely as possible. Gridco regrets the inconvenience caused by the temporary outage and assures the general public that all relevant technical teams have been fully mobilized and are working with urgency to achieve complete restoration of the power system. And the final paragraph says Gridco will continue to provide updates as further information becomes available and appreciates the patience, understanding and cooperation of the public as restoration efforts continue. And it's issued or signed by the Corporate Communications section of Gridco. And so with this information, it presupposes that there are certain areas already who might have had their lights restored. So whichever part of the country you find yourself, let us know through our WhatsApp line whether or not you have light. And so that's the statement coming in, a major disturbance leading to the power trip that we've all seen this morning. So the WhatsApp lines are already active. You can send in your messages. Let us know where you are contacting us from and whether or not you have light based on this statement coming in from Gridco. And again, you can equally share your thoughts with us on the accident which has led to the 12-year-old losing 2 legs, and of course the father as well, following the demise of her mother earlier. Yes, and the conversation about street lights as well. When we brought the story earlier, there were a number of you who sent us messages that your street lights were not functioning. From the day the incident happened, which is the 13th of August, up until now, tell us whether there's been any update, whether your lights are back on, and since then your street lights have been functioning, or it's the same old story. And really what authorities need to do. We've heard other officials say that we need to be working with the local assemblies to get some of these problems sorted out. Let us know what the situation is like in your community.
All right, messages are pouring in already, long ones. We'll be going to Rolly to read some. But Daku Francis says, I am Francis from Ekunfi Esueshia. God bless you for the good work. The Accra Cape Coast Road constructions is what I want to bring your attention to this morning. The contractors or the operators have no single regard for already laid pipelines and are disconnecting almost all the lines because of the construction. Hence, almost all the communities along the stretch have no access to water. Must we all die even before the roads are constructed? Can't they just relay the lines elsewhere to continue supplying water to the people along the stretch before constructing the roads? Well, these are questions that you're asking, but many of you do not have electricity this morning, and I can imagine what the challenge is. Really, can we start reading the messages as per what the situation is with our audience or viewers?
Well, so we have a couple more, so if you can just get on to
on our Facebook, but Prince Henry Koforidia has already sent in a message. He says, good morning, Queen Beatrice. As much as we expect the government to fix our street light, we should also be responsible on our roads, especially cars with unauthorized lights on our roads. And he says, God bless our homeland, Ghana. This is coming from MK Erickson Techiman. And he says, greetings, Miss Beatrice Edu. He says, just like Mr. Oscar Wilde succinctly put it, the cynic knows the price of everything and the value of nothing. It says, I heard professors, the MPP and their surrogates queried about the other costs, such as the environmental cost and the 5% withholding tax. I believe he's talking about the gold board and the other matters. And he says that Again, when the Nana Addo Bawumia-led NPP was in office, they were borrowing $3 billion annually to prop up the cedi until 2022, when the doors of the international market were closed against Ghana. So he's talking about the gold board and the IMF and the Apenyo marking issue.
Okay.
And yes.
Benjamin Anaba says, I'm in Kumasi, Boidi Oforikrom district. Our lights have not yet come. Okay. And all right, I think that's about it now. Please let us know if your lights are back on or not, because according to Gridco, power has been restored in some areas, not all of them, and they are still in the restoration process. So if your lights are back on, please indicate and let us know. If it's not, do so as well, so we can report accurately on them. Prince Henry Koforidia says, as much as, did you read that one?
Yes, I just read it, yes, on WhatsApp.
You've read that one
yes.
already. Okay. Do we have more messages indicating whether your lights are back? Okay, Madina Don Shamsu says Madina is still off, please. Okay, Bismarck Mensa says, I also think that heavy-duty vehicles should be moved on the road, should be moved or should be allowed to ply the road only at night. Bukari Ashahadu says, no light in Zebila in the Upper East region. Okay, so it means that Zebila has not come yet. Do let us know if yours is back. All right.
So send in your messages and let us know what you make of the conversations we're having this morning. I believe a number of you are equally sending us messages on YouTube. This is coming from Nicholas, and he says, the kind of politics done in Ghana undermines development of the country. If the government decides to ban Aboboya on highways, the opposition will make it a big topic and the government will cowardly stop. And Joseph says, Kaswa, no light. Okay. James says, I'm James, Kaswa is still off. And Nana Claudio says the whole of Sunyang is still off. Okay. And he's in the Mono region.
Okay, I'm getting reports here as well. Renee Lopez says, my light is back on Bachona, so it means Bachona is back on. Keta is also off. Kintampo North is off. Damango is still off. No light in the northern region. Ablekuma is also Ablekuma Kev is also off. Koforidua, the light is back according to Bismarck Mensa. Wolanyo Minister says Sapeman is also still off. Ho is still off. Cape Coast is still off. And Adenta has light according to Tijani Malik. He says that Adenta has light. Ashanti region, Fomina, our lights are still off. Idrisu says Wale Wale is also still off.
And there is Charles, East Legon, Mempasem is still off. And Ike says Nungwa Adogono, no light. Adogono. Okay. Benes says Shiashi is still off. There is Nate says there's no light in Ingo Pram Pram. Okay. Akachi North is off, and that is coming from Della Michela. And Noble says Tema Newtown has been off since yesterday afternoon. And okay, Thompson says yes, Ablekuma Agape is still off.
Okay, yes. Joan Nate says Tema Gulf City is back on. Sandema is still off according to Aninye Daniel. Kaswa is still off, Solomon says so. Chinderi in the OT region is also still off. Upper West region, Doom, it means that it's still off. No light in Tumu, according to Lahadiu Cooper. And Daniel Chure says that Fise is still off. Kuntunse is still off, according to Daniel Kuma. In Kwanzaa South is still off for Bono East region. Wilson Adoko is reporting on that one. Upper West region is still Doom. In Shiraba Rexcobi says so. Power is back at Insawam. Idrisu Hadi Pagaza is reporting. Domi Pillar 2, Freshers Junction is still off. Wejagbawe is still off. Botre School Junction is back on. Guan constituency, the light is still off. Humadon Sichope says so. Kwabenya is still off. Abubakar is reporting on that one. Dunkwan Onofin is still off. Koforidua is now back on. Ebri is still off. Mampon is also still off. Ashaiman is still off. Ho and its environs have no light. Ho is totally off, according to Jonathan Joe. Atebubu, Bono East is still off. Botre Lakeside, the light is back on. I beg your pardon. And Wisdom says, Aplau Denu Agbozume, there is still no light.
There's Hammond Nana. He says he's in Moscow. Where is Moscow? Aside from Russia. No, but I think Moscow it's an area. It's an area in Ghana.
As for Ghana, there's every country here.
He says his light is off as well.
Ashama is number one. They have every Jerusalem.
I know, Jericho, right? There's Jerusalem and Jericho in Ashaiman.
Okay, so this one is coming from Andy. Andy says that Bunso in the eastern region has light restored. Matthew says Efiri also is still off, and. Well, somebody is saying Bachona has just come on, and Sakumono.
Which parts of Bachona though?
Sakumono is also on. So
Swan Lake is still off. Equapim North, entire district is off. Sugakope is off. The whole of Ahafogo, so Akrodiemim is still off. Dodi Papase in the Dodi Papase in the Oti region is still off. The whole of Ahafo, okay, I've read that one. Bole Bamboy is back on. Dodoa is still off. There is no light in Teshi at the moment. Busa South, the lights are still off. Okay, I've talked about Dodi Papasi already.
PHK, that's Prince Henry Koforidua, says that in Koforidua we have light. So
okay. Memphis East, Wasai Kropon, the lights are off. Lights are back in Aswase. Okay, Obuasi East and West is still off. Olebu is still off. The whole of, okay, I've read that one already. It looks like most parts are still off at the moment, but Gridco says that they are aware of that and they are working assiduously to restore power in all the places that have outages at the moment. We'll keep an eye on it and we keep reporting as we are still here on TV3.
Tama is back on.
Tama is back on? Okay. So we'll keep reporting as we are still here on TV3 Newday. Remember that 3 of you are winning 500 Ghana cedis this morning. You just dial star 439 hash if you're a Telecel or MTN subscriber. You're choosing option 2, which is the TV3 option. But please be on the lookout for the big jackpot tomorrow. It's a whopping 10,000 Ghana cedis going to a number of you. We'll be announcing that once we open the show tomorrow morning. So please get ready for that one. But today, choose option 2 to win 500 Ghana cedis. And remember, to pack up your day, the Milky Way with the rich, smooth taste of Peck Milk Shortcake. It's pure delight, available everywhere. Toby Mami.
Mati, Ubenya, how many packs? Only right. Roland.
Thank you very much.
With some tea.
Please stick and stay with us. We'll be back with the big issue.
giving us what he believes, based on what he presented to us, is the true state and what the conversation rather should be. So we'll be going into that as well. And there's also been a report about the government indeed fulfilling over $10 billion repayment in the DDEP issue, and the conversation and the questions being asked again are that, are we going to be able to meet our obligations and in time? But before we talk about all of these, let me remind you that already there's been serious power outage across the country. A few minutes ago, I did read to you the statement coming from the Ghana Grid Company indicating that there was a major disturbance on their transmission lines, and therefore majority or parts of the country are off. The statement also indicated that, as you can see on your screens right now, that the Ghana Grid Company is currently working, the officials are working, officers are working on restoring power to as many places as soon and as safely as possible. And so that's something that perhaps I may want to get your thoughts quickly on. But before we do that, though, let me read a statement coming from the Ghana Grid Company, as you see on your screen. It says, the Ghana Grid Company Limited, GridCo, wishes to inform the general public that at approximately 4:30 a.m. today, Thursday, 20th August 2026, the national power system experienced a major fault on the Akosombo Volta transmission line. The fault resulted in the automatic tripping of the Akosombo generating unit and some thermal generating plants as part of the system's protection mechanism to safeguard the integrity and stability of the national interconnected transmission system. It says this consequently resulted in the loss of power supply to some parts of the country. Immediately following the incident, GridCo engineers, working in close coordination with other power sector agencies, took steps to isolate the affected transmission line and commenced the safe and systematic restoration of the power system. Power supply has already been restored to some affected areas, and restoration efforts are progressing steadily to ensure that supply is restored to all remaining affected customers as quickly and safely as possible. GridCo regrets the inconveniences caused by this temporary outage and assures the general public that all relevant technical teams have been fully mobilized and are working with urgency to achieve complete restoration of the power system. And it says GridCo would continue to provide updates as further information becomes available, and appreciate the patience, understanding, and of course the cooperation of the public as restoration efforts continue. Let me introduce my guests right now who are joining us to have the conversations. Of course, I do have on my immediate right Mr. Kwame Nkrumah Bochio Jr. He's probably legal practitioner. It's great to see you again. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning, sister.
I hope you had lights when you were coming.
It came on just before I left.
Oh, just before you left. So you're one of those people who got your lights. Which area is that?
Bachona.
Bachona. Okay, but I saw some people complaining that Bachona doesn't have lights.
Unless it went off again.
Okay. All right. Okay. So I also will be joined very shortly as well by Dr. Okay, he's actually here with us, Dr. Peter Tekpe, Policy and Economic Analyst. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you very much for joining us as well.
Good morning, and thanks very much for having me.
Great to see you. And I have in the studio with us Dr. Osman Fad. He's Director of Communications for the New Patriotic Party in the Bono region. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
You've left your regional chairman, Abronya, and come to Accra. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much for having me this morning.
Okay. We'll be also joined very shortly by the Honorable Bernard Bediakon, who is the Member of Parliament for Akwatia in the Eastern region. And I was telling you earlier that indeed we've had the conversations about Gold Board and whether or not that $1.7 billion should be attributed to either the BOG or the Gold Board. But before we watch that video from Mr. Sami Jemfi, who is the CEO of the Gold Board, I want to get your thoughts on really the light out. This is not the first time we've had light out. Recently, we had another one, and we had Greco coming in to explain to us that there was a major problem, almost the same thing that we experienced. And I wonder what your immediate thoughts are on this.
Well, you know, I also had a bit of rain in my area. And raid?
Yes, robbery?
Yes, yeah. Rain,
okay.
I had a bit of rain in my area. And there seems to always be a correlation between rain and lights out. So it was expected. But possibly there could be something about the change in weather that affects the operations of Great Coal. So they are the technical people. I don't have any reason to doubt what they are saying. At least before I left home, my lights were off for maybe just about 2 hours. It went off around 4, came on around maybe 6. Yes, so I think they are doing a good job so far. Recently, a few months ago, we had a problem with the transformers where people were calling for the energy minister to resign. I was one of those who said he should not resign because I know that the issue would be resolved. Let's have faith in them. This country has come far when it comes to the power sector. And I think things will get better and better. And I'm sure power will be restored very soon.
All right, Dr. Tepe.
Okay, thanks. Let me say good morning to our cherished viewers. I think that the issue about the power has to be looked at with all seriousness that it deserves because of the intermittent outages we've been having. And this has been disrupting businesses and individuals so much. I also experienced the same thing. I live at Oyarifa, and as at the time I was leaving home around 6:15, there was still no light. I have not found out whether it has come, but it's a concern that needs to be addressed. The last time there was such a national issue with Akosombo, we were told that we have to change some of the equipment which has been obsolete. And I'm thinking that government has to fast track that process in order to get things done so that it will reduce the impact. Because it's unfortunate that when one station is affected, then unfortunately almost the entire nation is also engulfed in darkness. And that is why we have to look at how to allocate the power with new equipment so that such outages will not affect the entire country. And so I'm hoping that government will look at it and then address it as they have promised.
Dr. Osman, Fad.
Thank you very much. Let me say a good morning to our viewers and to yourself here, to my brothers with me here. I think we are living in a country where we have excuses all the time whenever we go through such challenges. I live at Oyarifa equally with you. Around 4:20, the lights started blinking. You could see the currents reducing for a while, then it went off completely. I think it disrupts the entire day. I was planning for my day. Now I have to come up with a backup plan. My shirts were not. I had to put on a suit. I had to go look for this one. You see, it's not. I believe I'm not the only one. There are others who also needed the light early morning to plan their day. As we speak, it has been disorganized for them. So I think government should not allow these things to be happening. The reason is that 3 weeks ago, we witnessed a similar situation 3 weeks ago across the entire country. So I think when it happens once, we'll be able to forgive them. It happens again, this is the second time. If it happens again, then there'll be a sequence. And now when you start to draw a sequence, it becomes a certain problem that government needs to deal with with seriousness. So I think, we've read the statement, and we wish that it will not take that long to restore the country back to power, because we need the lights to run our days. Businesses will need this electricity to operate. If by close of the day, some part of the country is still in darkness, it basically means that economic activities in those areas will be very slow. So I think we will not want to blame them that much, but I'm only saying that we witnessed 3 weeks ago, there's another one today. If it becomes a sequence, then certainly there's something wrong somewhere that government and its agencies within the power sector needs to do about it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Let me acknowledge the presence of the Honourable Bernard Bediako, who is a Member of Parliament for Akwetia in the Eastern Region. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. How are you?
Doing wonderful. I hope you had lights when you were coming.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Kwabenya Shoman is there. We I didn't know, and so on my way here, I got information in terms of what actually the problem is. But I woke up around 4:30 and there was no power. I think that these things must be looked at, and I believe that it's been done. You see, as for challenges, we may have them, but the resolution for me is what matters, and communication. So at least I commend them for giving us information, acknowledging what the issues are. But I pray that it gets resolved very quickly, very, very quickly, because this could be very uncomfortable. I had this already ironed. Otherwise, I don't know how I would be able to get to your set this way. I don't know, but I believe it's quite widespread.
Yeah, this is the second time in less than a month that we've had almost, if you look at the statement, it's similar to what we had the last time it happened. We've heard the government say that there is, or there are efforts towards investing within the power sector. We all admit that the investment has not been that great. Shouldn't that tell us that perhaps whatever it is that we're doing,
you say the investment has not been that great?
I'm just saying that if you look at the situation, our power, the demands and all of that, yes, we're making investment, but it hasn't got to the point where when there's a little issue, you have power trips, because this is happening, let's say, in a month. I'm just saying that whatever it is that we're doing, doesn't it tell us that perhaps we need to, put in a lot more beyond what we're doing now, just so we prevent the how frequent it happens?
Well, the frequency, I'm not too sure whether it's that frequent. This is an isolated situation. We need to really understand what the issue is. And for me, I think it's early days yet. I'm very sure they will give us further information. What accounted to, a complete blackout, or that large space in terms of coverage. Let's wait. These things may happen. It's really not something that could be blamed so much. Of course, even as lawyers, we have something called force majeure. You are not too sure what will happen the next minute. But the frequency, the consistency is what the issue, the issue may be. But I think early days, yes. They are trying to resolve it. They will tell us more. And we pray that they get it resolved permanently. It shouldn't be you try, it's on today, tomorrow, it's off. Some of these issues may come as a nation, even in the developed countries. You may have it once in a while, but it should get resolved. We admit that it should get resolved permanently so that we don't experience these things. But in the meantime, let's empathize with all those who woke up to meet this unfortunate. Because of course, you see, if it happened earlier, you would have plans. But you wake up thinking that, I will do my pressing at 5 a.m. And then you wake up and it distorts your entire day. We must, it's not something we can defend unduly, but we can only say that we are sorry, but it will get resolved.
Indeed. And let's go to some of the things we told you we'll be talking about today, which includes the conversation about the Gold Board and the allegations and the response, as it were, from the minority leader and also the chief executive officer of the Gold Board. Let's watch excerpts of that press conference in responding to the claims by the minority from the chief executive officer of the Ghana Gold Board, Sammy Gyamfi.
After adducing these indisputable findings of the Auditor General to puncture the lie that the Gold Board made losses in 2025, Afenyo Markin and his associates quickly abandoned this line of attack and have now sought refuge in the recently published IMF report on the Bank of Ghana's on Ghana's standard credit facility, in which the IMF reported that the Bank of Ghana recorded a loss of $1.7 billion under its domestic gold purchase program in 2025. Their position has now conveniently changed from the old false narrative that the Gold Board made losses to the new false narrative, which is that the Gold Board is responsible for losses incurred by the Bank of Ghana under the domestic gold purchase program. Ladies and gentlemen, nothing could be further from the truth. First, nowhere in the under-referenced IMF reports is Gold Board accused by the IMF as having caused the losses reported to have been incurred by the Bank of Ghana under the domestic gold purchase program. I challenge Afenyo Markin to point to any page, paragraph, sentence, phrase, or punctuation mark in the said reference reports of the IMF where the Gold Board was accused by the IMF as the entity responsible for losses incurred by the Bank of Ghana. In summary, ladies and gentlemen, what the IMF report states is that Bank of Ghana incurred losses through the sale of gold under its domestic gold purchase program of $400 million in the year 2024 and $1.7 billion in the year 2025. And that the 2025 loss of $1.7 billion was as a result of, I'm quoting the IMF verbatim, the scaling up of the domestic gold purchase program, not incompetence or mismanagement. According to the IMF, that loss was as a result of the scaling up, the expansion of the program. The IMF also stated that these accounting losses partly reflect valuation effects. In particularizing what the IMF considers to be components of this loss, the IMF listed three things, which included fees paid to the Gold Board under the domestic gold purchase program. This is the true context within which the name of the Gold Board featured relative to losses under the DGPP in the reference IMF reports.
Chief Executive Officer of the Gold Board, Sami Gyamfi, there, giving us really, as you heard him read, what the IMF report said. I want to take your thoughts first, Dr. Fad, because basically what Sami Gyamfi is saying is that the minority led by Alexander Afenyo Markin is trying to throw dust into the eyes of Ghanaians and even misquoting or taking a report from the IMF out of context whilst ignoring that of the Auditor General done here in this country.
All right, thank you very much for the opportunity. And let me say good morning once again to our viewers. And to my people in the Bono region, I went for elections over the weekend. And by the grace of God, I won. So let me use the opportunity to thank my delegates from the Bono region. And to the Gold Board losses and its matters surrounding it. These issues, I believe this is not the first time coming up in the media space. It came up some 6 months ago when we started drawing attention to the $200 million losses on the books of the Bank of Ghana. You quite remember, that was when these old matters came up for the first time. And we're told in this country that these losses were not the losses of the Gold Board. And the interesting thing here is something the accountants will tell you, creative accounting, right? So if you pick the institutions involved or the entities involved, we have 3 entities involved now. So we have one, Gold Board, Bank of Ghana, and the program itself, that's the domestic gold purchase program. It's as a program on its own. If you take the books of these 3 programs, one, it is indeed true that on the books and the accounting books of Gold Board, there is no losses. That is a fact. There is no losses. If you pick the books of the Bank of Ghana, there is a loss of 9 billion Ghana cedis. That was reported 2025. Interestingly, if you pick the program itself, that's the domestic gold purchase program itself, it's recorded some transactional losses, which today IMF has calculated everything and brought the figure to $1.7 billion, equivalent to 22 billion Ghana cedis. These are the facts. Now the question is, let's try connect all these figures together. There is a correlation between the operations of Gold Board and Bank of Ghana, because Bank of Ghana pre-financed Gold Board's activities when it started, by government providing in 5 billion Ghana cedis to start their operations. This is where the problem starts from. So if this morning, from what Sami Gyamfi read yesterday, trying to make the claim that if there is no itemized contribution directing the losses to the office of the Gold Board, then we cannot say it is coming from the Gold Board's operations. That is a false. And that is something my boss would say, engaging in intellectual laziness. Why? Because if your operations centers on buying gold and selling gold, and the losses on the books of Bank of Ghana is as a result of gold dealings, who then do we blame? The Ministry of Agric? The Ministry of Defense? No, we can't blame them. We blame the institute or the entity responsible for dealing in gold in this country. And that institution is the Gold Board. So number one, Sammy Gyamfi should accept and admit that these losses on the book of Bank of Ghana is as a result of his operations.
That means if we are going into retrospective effect, you would equally blame the Precious Minerals Marketing Company in 2024?
Yes, there were losses.
For the losses of 400 million Ghana cedis given to the BOG?
If you take, let's do that. Let's admit to that there were 400 million losses in 2024. Let's admit to that. And there's another loss in this year, right? Report. So what is the concerns now? The concerns we've raised so far is that how do we mitigate these losses to ensure that we reduce the losses moving forward? That has been our argument when we started these whole discussions 6 months ago. We knew very well that if you look at the structural Gold Board program, the formula it's involving the Gold Board purchase arrangement, the Gold Board buy golds at the local market at a higher price, sells on the global market at a lower price. So if you look at the structural systems of it, the program itself, there is a certain deficiency that will result to these losses. So there have already been losses in the past, but we should not also justify the current losses without discussing what led to these losses. And the issues are out there for us to discuss. Well, nobody hates Sammy Gyamfi. Let me make this point clear. Nobody envy his position, because this is a political appointment, and his office is coterminous. Let me borrow his word, coterminous to the term of the office of this current administration. An office that is coterminous to a political power. Who envies you? He should put that one aside and deal with the issues without emotional sentiment. From what he did yesterday was what we call whitewashing and engaging in emotional sentiment. The issues are there. There are losses.
But what are the issues of envy from?
Oh, he made statements like, we envy him, we see him as some god in the political space. He is not. He's just a human being occupying political space. There will be time for him to render account for his stewardship. And that day is coming. That day will certainly come. And you can mark it anywhere. That day will come. But today, he can have the media space and his paid media friends or his people in that space to help him push a certain narrative. We'll give him that. But when the day comes for accountability, trust me, Sammy Gyamfi will render account for every single CD and every single dollar lost at his office.
Mr. Sammy Gyamfi has already said that he's ready to account for this, and that's why in that press conference he was saying that if the minority leader feels that there's something wrong, he should just begin the process of getting the Public Accounts Committee and any other relevant, measure to get him come answer questions. Doesn't it show you that he's ready to answer that?
Here. He can tell us when Honorable Kojo Ponkroma initiated the motion calling for a bipartisan investigation to this particular Gold Board issues when the losses were at $200 million. You remember? Well, do you know what happened in Parliament? My Honorable Member should tell us. They should tell us what happened. From day one, they've been running away from accountability. This media showmanship will not save his face. The realities are that there are losses. We do acknowledge there are losses. And some of these losses are the results of the exchange rate differentials. We do acknowledge. What measures are we going to take to mitigate these losses?
But one of the things the IMF also said was the scaling up of this whole process.
So now you buy more, you make more losses. That's the basic understanding of what you just said. Buy more gold, make more losses. That's the scaling up, right? So if next year we are to buy more gold, now we said, Sammy Gyamfi indicated that he has exported or brought in $10 billion as exchange, right? So let's assume next year he do $20 billion, then the losses keeps going up. No, that should not be the justification. We should have a remedy. And that's what we are calling for. Nobody envies them. We are only calling for a remedy to mitigate the losses. And if that is not enough for them, and that as a result of that, Sammy Gyamfi will stand before the entire country and insult, disrespect the minority leader by calling him names. Sammy Gyamfi, keep on that path. Just keep on going. There is a day coming, and that day you're going to be held accountable for every single dollar lost at their office. And let me make this point. You see, there's a difference between accounting losses and economic losses. Yes, on the books of Sammy Gyamfi, there is no accounting losses over there. There's a surplus of 900 million Ghana cedis, right? We give him that. But on the books of Gold Board, there are losses. And that losses today amount to the $1.7 billion. It cannot be blamed at the doorsteps of the Ministry of Agric. That is the fact. It is as a result of gold dealings. And we have only one state institution responsible for gold dealings in this country. And Honorable Sami Gyamfi heads that institution. And as a result of that, that blame should be laid at his doorsteps. Now, the discussion is, what can we do to mitigate these problems? There have been some proposals. I will not pretend to be an expert in gold trading, but there have been some proposals being made out there. Now, let's look at how we buy the gold locally. We can't buy gold expensive. For instance, look at the exchange rate differential. Bank of Ghana tells you that its rate to a cedi to a dollar is 10 cedis to a dollar, right? Sami Gyamfi goes to buy gold at the market rate. So if the market rate is 12 cedis, he buys the gold at 12 cedis. Already there's a 2 cedi difference there. He goes to sell the gold. Bank of Ghana comes back to give the money, the dollar to these institutions at the market rate. So there's another 2 cedi difference again. So making 4 Ghana cedi on every dollar being sold with gold. So these are the concerns. So if we do not deal with these problems, what happens is that we call it the kalabule ejadie, right? The kalabule ejadie is what you do is, I buy from you today, tomorrow I tell you that you know something, you buy at a lower price. Tomorrow I'll sell it back to you at a certain lower price.
As against at the time when it was being sold at 17 Ghana cedis?
Now the question is, the exchange rate differential, I'm using the exchange rate differentials. I'm not using exchange rates.
But it's the same argument Mr. Sami Gyamfi made, that we have had appreciation of the Ghana cedi as well, and that contributed.
You see, I am never going to undermine the economic impact of what this program had done, because Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, prior to 2024 elections, made a very solid argument where we should use our gold deposit as an anchor of our economy, right? So we all do acknowledge, and I believe it is collective interest, we've made this argument that we strongly believe that gold can be used to anchor our economy. So witnessing this economic impact, exchange rates coming down, inflation coming down, we'll give it to them. But that should not also let us lose sight of the important issues being exposed this morning by the IMF report. They are losses. And these losses as a result of transactional losses. And that's why I still emphasize the kalabule ejadie. What is happening currently with these losses clearly shows that there's a certain kalabule trading going on with the gold board activities.
And you're making this argument disregarding the explanation by Sami Gyamfi that if I'm a business and I contract you to do something for me, I pay you fees, all of that, and at the end of the day I make losses, you shouldn't be held accountable for that.
You see, if you look at the losses, that's the losses and the factors that led to the losses. The exchange rate differential contributes close to 50% of the losses. 50%. The fees were not that significant. So let's not lose sight of the argument. You can talk about the fees and all the charges, but what is important in this argument is that there is a certain component known as the exchange rate differential. That is where the losses are coming from.
Dr. Fad.
And that losses are as a result of me buying the good locally with a higher price, selling on the international market at a lower price, coming back to pump back that same proceed from the gold into the economy at a lower price. So already there is a certain differential that we need to deal with. And this differential goes to individuals in the economy and within the sector. And they know themselves, they go to the such individuals. So that is where the kalabule ejadie comes in. So please, government, we are calling on you, minimize the differentials. Please, because these losses, if you are going to go by Sami Gyamfi's explanation, that these losses were as a result of scaling up of the activities of Gold Board, then imagine next year, Sami Gyamfi comes back to report that he has exported 50 billion worth of gold from this country. Look at the losses that will come along with that. So let's reduce the losses, let's increase our exports, and let's ensure that they will be accountable to the good people of this country. That's what we are calling for. We are not calling for anybody's head.
Okay, so let's assume that that is the argument, that you cannot say that you're doing more and so you should be making losses.
Yes.
How different is that from spending a lot of money for a banking, cleaning sector that cost us more than we thought we could save?
Thank you.
How do you explain that?
I find it very interesting how you bring this argument in this. But then, let me also say this. I believe strongly that the good people of this country judged us in 2024 by voting us out of office in 2024, right? If I believe very well that all that we did in power was right, they wouldn't have voted us out of office. So if today there's another government in office with the expectations that they were going to be better than what the previous administration was doing, I don't believe that this justification should be enough to make any case this morning. And even that, the Bank of Ghana sector cleanup, which I usually call a necessary evil. A very necessary evil. If you go back to 2015, Bank of Ghana report, there's a certain portion known as the Quality Assets Review, indicated that 6 banks were insolvent as far back 2015. What was the government policy? Government decided to pump in money into these banks. That ended the man Atu Esen in prison, right? So let's also understand that context differs. And today, Gold Board is not the banking sector. Gold Board is buying gold locally at a certain higher price, selling on the global market at a lower price. And as a result of that, Bank of Ghana has recorded some losses. And these losses, some will call it transactional losses. It is not an accounting loss on the book of the Bank of Ghana, the Gold Board. We do acknowledge that. I've made that point very clear. But these are economic losses, which you can also known as program losses. Let's try and put in place measures to mitigate these losses. If not, gold transaction will continue to happen in this country, and 2026 will come back to report 2026 report that there is an additional losses. We reported these losses 200 million 6 months ago. We were told it was not true. Today it is 1.7 billion. Surprisingly, you remember when the NDC went on demonstration for the head of the governor of Bank of Ghana? Do you know the amount of losses recorded as at that time? It was 4 billion. Yet they call for the head of the Bank of Ghana.
Do I hear you say?
Now it is 9 billion.
Do I hear you say indirectly that the context through which we spent the money in cleaning the bank, that sector, was different?
Yes, was different.
Do you see anything wrong
No,
with it?
please.
That we spent so much?
Yes.
I'm just trying to
Okay.
understand.
Let me give you further explanation on that. Different because one, a banking sector that was challenged as a result of government recklessness, government neglect over a period of time. I've given you reference to the 2015 Bank of Ghana report, Quality Asset Review, indicated that 6 banks were insolvent. I've given you that statement. You can cross-check that fact. And government decided, as at that time, John Dramani Mahama 1 decided to pump in monies into this government by way of giving monies to these bank managers and bank owners. And these monies ended up in individual pockets that were used for private businesses. I remember very well, one particular statement the Bank of Ghana report indicated was that monies meant for the banking sector ended up in individual pockets and they were used for unrelated banking activities. This is the context in which the banking sector cleanup was very, very important in 2017. It's very, very important. Today, there is another context, and that context is that before the assumption of this current administration, the previous government had a domestic gold purchase program, and the focus of the program was to try and generate more forex through buying gold locally, export it, then get the forex into the country.
But you're making this argument disrespecting the fact that this cleanup created massive fiscal strain, locked up people's, individual savings, and triggered severe economic hardship. You don't appreciate the negative impact this had?
No, I think you get it wrong when you make that argument in addition to what I've said so far. I use context. When I say
still talking within context.
When I say, and respectfully, when I say that Gold Board operations and Bank of Ghana or banking sector cleanup cannot be compared as a result of discussing them. These are causes. Okay, let me ask you this question. Bank of Ghana cleanup, the banking sector cleanup was as a result of 2 major issues: non-performing loans and monies being used for unrelated banking activities. These were the causes of the banking sector cleanup in 2017. Current Gold Board issues, what are the causes? The causes are as a result of exchange rate differentials, where Bank of Ghana will tell you that our official rate to $1 is 10 Ghana cedis. Yet, Bank of Ghana goes down there to buy gold from the domestic gold miners at 12 Ghana cedis. That's the market rate. These are the issues I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the impact and its effects. I'm talking about the causes of these 2 challenges.
Let me ask you this before I come to the Honorable Bernard. Yesterday, actually on Tuesday, when the minority leader addressed the press within the President of Parliament, he described what is happening as a disingenuous accounting arrangement, and that the cleanup on the surface is it is clean on the surface but dirty in substance, and it is the ordinary Ghanaian taxpayer who is going to be left carrying the risk. He also did mention that the reason the Auditor General might have come out with that report it did on the Gold Board and the BOG is because it did not have the full picture, as it were. We heard Sami Jemfi disputing that every relevant document that was needed for the Auditor General to do its work was given, and so your minority leader lied.
You see, that's what we call the creative accounting, right? We have three various institutions in this whole program. I've given that background earlier on. We have the Gold Board accounts, audited accounts. We have the Bank of Ghana audited accounts. And we have the domestic gold program audited accounts. These are three separate entities. However, three separate entities, but connected. Connected such that the loss of the other somehow is as a result of the actions of the other. So if Sami Jemfi believes that we are lying about these issues, and as a result of that, I'll end on this. As a result of that, he tells us that what we are doing is what he terms as the blackmailing, right? We are blackmailing him so he oils our palms. Well, it brings one question to mind. That's what was the objective he intended to achieve when he came out to tell this country that Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia was the owner behind Haptel. What was the objective? Was it the same purpose? To blackmail Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia then? Sami Jemfi should calm down. My Nigerian friends will be calming down, Sami. Be calming down. There are a lot of issues that will be coming up in their sector. A lot of them, which he is aware. So he should be calming down. This is just the beginning of it. He should just assume a certain posture that demonstrates some level of respect to the people of this country. That disrespect is too much. In opposition, we'll forgive him. Today, he is being paid with our taxpayers' money. And we expect more from him than what he did over yesterday. What he did is what I would call the whitewashing agenda, just to have some friends in the space there to help him, cheer him on, just to push a certain narrative. Well, we wish him well. We are calling for a bipartisan investigation of this Gold Board matters in Parliament. Honorable Kojo Nkrumah did that 6 months ago. The leader of Parliament, the Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Speaker, did a very disservice to this country by rejecting that motion to go through. Honorable, respectfully, we are calling on you this morning. If you go back to Parliament today, please reactivate that motion. Let's send it back to Parliament and investigate, have a public view of what is happening at Gold.
Honorable Bediako,
Thank you
have the floor.
I'm grateful. Good morning to you, my colleagues here, your team, the people of Ghana, and my constituents, people of Akwetia. You see, my dear, this is our problem. The MPP thinks we are still in those days where they pursue a certain narrative. Very well, they know that the narrative is false, completely false. But pursue it, hit on it, run with it, and make sure that the people of Ghana believes it. And then it would aid their political fortunes. It won't happen this time around. We've always assured them. It will not happen this time around. We sat aloof. They had it in 2016. I think even in 2016 they did so. It won't happen again. This time, we would expose them. And they become very uncomfortable. You see them always shifting their goalposts once they are exposed. Let me start from where he ended. And look, maybe you need to be informed about what happened in Parliament with regards to this call for accountability or whatever. It is completely not what you have been putting across this morning. What happened was that your people filed a motion for a bipartisan approach or committee to be formed, and that is an ad hoc committee, of course, because that is usually it is used. There is always this ad hoc call or the call for ad hoc committee when there isn't a committee or some known committee which should take up a particular matter. So you came up, I was in the chamber, and then when the debate happened, and then we told you that, look, no problem, nobody is saying that there shouldn't be accountability. Nobody is saying the Gold Board is beyond criticism or accountability. But there is an existing committee of Parliament, which is the Public Accounts Committee. Go and check the answer. These were the arguments we made. Chaired by your own Ablon Sasari, is all over the place criticizing Gold Board. It's not chaired by me. It's not chaired by the Honorable Mahama Ayariga. The same person who is criticizing Gold Board is the chair of that committee. And the reason the minority leader is all over the place and we say minority is because it's parliament. And parliament's, the rules of the game, I mean in Ghana and in the chamber, in parliament, is that every entity, that's the law of the republic, every entity of government or state entity at the end of every year would have to go through an audit, which audit is done by the Auditor General, which audit report will find its way to Parliament, which will be referred to the committee that Abnos Asare, Honorable, is chair of. So wait, that's what we said. Let their report, because if you are saying Gold Board is doing whatever and has incurred whatever, surely it should be in their books, not so. And their books, their financial books will be brought to you. So wait, let it be brought to you. Go through. If you even want to beat Sami Jemfi there, beat him there. This is what we said. And you sit here, you say that is what a disservice. Speaker did a disservice. Speaker, it has never been part of our debate. At the end of the day, he will just put the motion that as many as wants this or that should say whatever. And it happened. So if you, what is it that you are afraid of? Why don't you want the gentleman to appear before your committee? You knew very well that that thing is not in their books. So you won't have that opportunity to go through it. So that is why you deliberately prevented or avoided that opportunity to have him before your committee. So please, if you don't know what happened there or you have less information, I've told you that nobody said Same should not. We never go and check the answer. Why? I mean, you know Same, and you can't take that away from him. Very, very brilliant guy. Very intelligent. How you think Same can debate? What is he afraid of? When the majority in parliament will never and has never shielded Same from accountability, but use the Public Accounts Committee, which your own sister, Abnos Asare, Honorable, is chair of. That's what we said. Because you see, often, you remember cash for seats. Often when we do this by partisan thing, if you know the records of how these committees have run, it becomes partisan. Yes, if you don't know that, if you check this by partisan thing, anytime we do this by partisan thing, it ends in something else. So we believe that if anybody has done anything wrong in terms of its finances, any entity, it is the Public Accounts Committee that does it.
It means you don't agree with a call for a bipartisan.
We never agreed. It's not that we don't. We never agreed in the chamber. We never agreed because we knew that there was a solution. You don't go, shopping for a solution when there exists one. What is their fear? Why? The books of Sami Jemfi and the Gold Board will surely, be put on their table. The financial books, which Auditor General was appointed by His Excellency Nanado. So you can't talk about a deal. Currently, the Auditor General who is working. So you can't, what is it? But you see, let me proceed. Look, unfortunately, this minority, and of course, they've said that all they need is political power. So they will do anything to secure political power. So we understand. In fact, some of their candidates who are going around campaigning said that they need to enhance their propaganda machinery. You've heard them. You've heard them. So we understand what they are trying to do, but it won't wash. It will not wash to the extent that the respected minority leader is now moving from one radio station to the other. All in the name of what? What has happened? And changing the goalposts all the time. You said categorically 6 months ago, I was in the chamber, the motion, if you have the motion, if you want to go find out. You said that Gold Board was incurring debts. These were your words. You never said that it's a debt in the books of Bank of Ghana, but it's as a result of the workings of Gold Board. That was a shift of the position. That's not what you said. You've always said that Gold Board was incurring debts. And if they are incurring debt, it should be in their financial statements. I mean, this is right. Then you came later and you said, because all this while they were saying, they never mentioned the IMF report. So we were wondering, where is it coming from? Later they came and said, go and check the IMF report. We said, okay. Let's see, page what? In the entire report, it is paragraph 13, page 10. That this whole thing is. Except somebody points to some other pages. This is where you can find And when he was speaking, I thought that, you see, it's skillful, it's deliberate. And that is why we think that it is nothing short of propaganda. Because the whole issue you refer to, the IMF report, for all the minutes you gave him, did he refer to a single page or a paragraph of the IMF report? He won't, because he knows it's not there. He would not, because he knows it's nowhere there. And that is what the minority leader has always done. He's always all over the place. They've incurred that. Kojo Opon Nkrumah, Honorable. He's all over the place. They've incurred that without referring to the specific pages in the report they refer to. So today I'm telling you, it is in the report of IMF, page 10, paragraph 13. Nothing short of that. If they have something contrary to that, they should show us. What does it say? Before we proceed, I would read, if you have, I have your permission. People should hear this. So the heading is, DGPP operations have generated significant losses for the Bank of Ghana. And the IMF, their report they believe is so holy, started with this, that losses in 2024, and that is what you kept pointing out to him. Then at some point he had to concede. Did you ever hear the minority leader talk about 2024? Did you hear him talk about 2023? Even before this, in 2023, they spent over, I think it's in the region of, I think, $381 million. That loss in the books of Bank of Ghana. Did you hear Sami Gyamfi organize press conference on that? Did you hear any NDC? Because you see, these are operational losses. At the end of the day, Bank of Ghana is not a commercial bank. Bank of Ghana has a responsibility. And they use money to perform that role. Except one who doesn't know. Assuming, for me, if the argument had been that, no, why are we still spending money? Let's find, or incurring losses at the Bank of Ghana. Let's find a way to, we would have joined them. Because, of course, Bank of Ghana is for all of us. And we will trace it from 2023 and find out what actually the issue is. But for the propaganda, for the sheer, hatred for the young man, you say you don't hate him, you reduce the argument to Sami Gyamfi when you know Gold Board is an institution which has even a board. But it was always Sami Gyamfi. To the extent that you have a minority leader, a lawyer of repute, stand in the cameras and talk about bail conditions. That was the low point. That's where I lost my respect for the minority leader. I respect so much. How does that come in? A bail conditions for what? A lawyer, assuming they're receiving a loss for the entity, how does it constitute a crime when you've not linked it to a particular doing or a particular act of Sami Gyamfi? So where did it come from? Minority leader. So if you don't hate the man, if it is not a smear campaign, why would you even mention his name? An institution, assuming they've even incurred a loss, is it about Sami Gyamfi? And you are here, you are today, you are this morning, you want to talk about Sami Gyamfi's response without talking about the way the minority leader went about it? On what basis was his name even mentioned? And you know that even in the report, it never mentioned that it was a loss of Gold Board. When you were all over the place, go and check the motion that was filed. They said Gold Board was incurring losses. And then we are saying that, look, if they are incurring losses, it is the Auditor General that would put out that information. It was nowhere. In fact, when we told them that the Auditor General's report says that Gold Board is doing so well and has some profits and all the surpluses in their books, he said, no. Go and check the IMF report. So this is what we have. He said in 2024, you incurred a loss of $400 million. And you see, we told them, they said no. It is as a result of the workings of Gold Board. And said, okay, show us in the report where it ever said that. You sat here, you've spoken for over 20 minutes. You couldn't show a single report. Oh. You didn't. Please, everybody is watching. You couldn't show us the report. You didn't show us how the workings. Look, do you know, maybe you need to be informed. Do you know that it is not Gold Board that sells the good? Do you know that? How can you talk about loss when I'm not responsible for the sale of it? Do they know that? That under the same policy which we inherited, the DGPP was your own bet. In fact, it is the MPP that brought about, and nothing has changed. And that is why we had this loss in 2023, we had it in 2024, and in 2025, because of the scale up. When you say scale up, it's the volumes. That is now coming. So, of course, it has been a loss all year round. I mean, since 2023. But if that's why I'm telling you that if it was, please, would you, yes, please.
I'm sorry.
Yes. So you see, if it was an argument of why the loss generally, without mentioning Gold Board, because nobody mentioned PMMC, he pointed it out to you. Gold Board is doing what PMMC. In fact, Sami Jemfi started as the PMMC head. Why is the last CEO of PMMC? Has anybody mentioned his name? If Sami Jemfi's bail should be that onerous, then we should start looking for your what's his name? We should start looking for him and get him now, so that in the future, in about 20-30 years, when you get an opportunity to come, then Sami Jemfi's bail will be onerous. So for now, please get his name for me. We should start looking for him. If this is the argument, the hypocrisy, the lies, the propaganda. Now they are shifting the goal. They said it's still a loss. Go and ask the one who is responsible. Why are you not calling out the Bank of Ghana for them to explain to you why the loss? In 2023, 2024, and then now 2025.
You're looking for Nana Kwesi Esquire?
I didn't even know him. That he was the PMMC boss at the time. Did you hear any NDC person criticize him for the loss in 2023 and 2024? Did you hear him? And that is the hypocrisy with which our people always operate. What has Sami Jemfi done to you? Because he supervised, or why? Has he taken anybody's wife? What is the problem?
He's been paid with our taxpayers' money.
And you don't know where the Bank of Ghana office is? Because you know. And the minority leader knows that this is in the books of the Bank of Ghana. And it has been in their books since 2023. So if they want questions, if they want answers, why not? In fact, just before we wrote, the Bank of Ghana governor was in the chamber. You call him, he comes to explain. Let him explain what it is. But you see, the good thing is that we know that those losses, we are even doing something about it already. And that is why the Bank of Ghana has exited the program. It is not a loss of Gold Board, and yet the Bank of Ghana, who knows that it is in their books, and the Bank of Ghana says that, look, of course, it is an accounting loss. It is not an economic loss. And the reason is that there are economic gains. Today, as we speak, the Bank of Ghana, which has a mandate of stabilizing our currency, has done so, which you can't dispute. When you were incurring the losses of $380 million, $400 million, what was the result? Did we have the stability we have today? What sort of hypocrisy is this? Did we have the sort of stability we have today? So you see, there are things you cannot dispute. What we are saying is this. The Bank of Ghana has in their books these losses. And these losses has always been there, 2023, 2024, 2025. If you want us to have a discussion as a nation about that, we will. And the good thing is that the Bank of Ghana has exited the program. Let's wait. Going forward now, Gold Board is fully in charge. Is that not so? Because, like I told you, Gold Board did not even have the mandate. All the Gold Board was doing was this. Bank of Ghana wanted gold. They can't deal with the people directly. They said, okay, I want you as an agent, the PMMC, then, in 2021. In fact, you should even be explaining this. Because it happened under this whole arrangement was your policy. And nothing has changed. Maybe you don't know. Or you think anything has changed? This is how it was being done under your term. PMMC, under Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, the Bank of Ghana, then, what's his name, Addison? And then even including Abnos Asare, who should know better, with respect to her. This is exactly how, nothing has changed. So how do you come and then you want to take them? You have said it even in Parliament. We try to explain to you. We try to explain, but you hear. And now the minority leader becomes shopping from one radio station to the other, mentioning the name of this young man. For doing what? Meanwhile, the report we have, we've told you that even the report you claim is a report that indicts the young man, has nothing in it like that. So sometimes, you see, we understand their haste to denigrate appointees of this administration because they are all hungry for, what do you call it, for scandals. Unfortunately, there is none. Almost 2 years now. We haven't seen the kind of things we used to see within their 8-year rule. And so they are quick to always criticize and try to make things look as though there is an issue. But nothing is an issue here. My dear sister, at the end of the day, Gold Board is in charge now. Beyond this year, next year, whatever reports will be generated will be fully at their instance. Then we can criticize because now they acquire or procure resources or funds from the commercial banks, not BOG again. So they determine the prices. Either true, they didn't determine how much they are buying the gold. They didn't determine. In fact, they are not even a party to the agreement between the off-takers and then the Bank of Ghana. You should know this. So how do you talk about losses at their instance?
I want to come to you, Dr. Tepe, beyond the interpretations being given to us by the minority leader, and of course you heard Sami Jemfi as well, and what have been said by both gentlemen on the panel. You are an expert. What's your understanding really of what we've been given by the Auditor General and what the Bank of the IMF is equally telling us?
Thank you very much. The issue about Gold Board, unfortunately, has been politicized to the extent that nobody even knows what is the reality. And so even when you are, talking about what the real situation is, the politics has unfortunately covered it. But let me try to just give a perspective about it for people to understand. The Bank of Ghana has what we call international reserves. And these reserves help international trade. And the composition of these reserves is in either cash, that is foreign currency cash, or is in foreign securities like bond, and then gold holdings. So they keep these reserves in order to support international trade. And normally these reserves help investors to actually see the position of the central bank in terms of liquidity, so that when they want to invest, they know that, oh, when I put my money in Ghana, Bank of Ghana has enough foreign reserves to be able to pay back whatever I want. And so normally when there are challenges, and there are scarcity of foreign currency, you see Bank of Ghana putting in foreign currency into the bank. That's what they say, they are pumping money into the bank. That is what they do, and this is how they accumulate these reserves. The one that is topical now, which is gold, is what I'll focus on. That is the composition I gave. I'll look at the gold aspect. Now, Bank of Ghana holding in gold for its reserves started in 1960. It's way back. It's not now. It's been there since 1960. But over the years, depending on the country's fiscal economic turnaround, they either scale up or reviewed it. And so you realize that in 2021, the then government of, NPP, reviewed it by introducing the domestic gold purchase program. In order, they try to refine it so that they can scale it up. And so when there were difficulty in 2022 with regards to Forex, and when we saw the rate going up almost every hour, I remember very well in 2022, when the rate went over the roof, they realized that one of the biggest consumption of FX, which has depleted our reserves then, was oil import. And so they introduced the gold for oil so that it will help to reduce the pressure on the demand for Forex. And so they decided that let's use gold to exchange oil, which is a program that we need to also look at the challenges later. But I'm trying to look at how this whole thing came about. And so they introduced that, which is very good, because at the end of the day, we realized that the consumption of FX from the oil import was so much, TOR was not operating, so we're basically importing every petroleum product, and as a result, they have to bring in that to support, which is a very good program, despite the challenges that it had. Now, over the years, in 2023, again, they've introduced the scaling up of the reserve to say that let us now increase the gold reserves because of the marketability of gold, and then to also support international reserves. Now, what happened was that Bank of Ghana's policy is that we want to hold more reserves in gold. And that means that they want to buy gold locally. This is a policy of the central bank. The PMC is where they have to then use as the aggregator or the agent to do so. Now, the PMC has been transitioned into Gold Board. So definitely, if the Bank of Ghana want to, continue scaling up or holding local gold, they have to go to the gold board to do that. That is a different transaction altogether from the gold board, from the central bank. And so, as at 2024, they have increased the holdings up to about 19 tons. And the history shows that in 1960, when they introduced this program, by the end of 1961, they were having about 5 tons. So look at the scaling up from 5 in 1960 to 19. And this is huge. Now, when they realized that it is very good in supporting them, so let us scale it up, they themselves came up to say that, no, we realize that the gold reserve that we are holding is helping. And so let's continue. The reason is that when the country is at a situation where there's nowhere to turn to, the central bank comes in as a savior. And so the people there know what to do at a certain point in time. And so they increased from 2024 the gold reserves from 19 tons to about 38 tons late 2025. So almost doubled. So definitely there's policy which has been, executed by the central bank right from 1960 to date. It's not different from what is happening now. It's just that the scaling up of the volumes will definitely come with additional cost. What brought the main issue was in 2025 when we saw the cedi appreciated so fast. And this, every business or every institution in Ghana will tell you that that appreciation of the cedi was a necessary evil, in as much as it has helped people who import. At the end of the day, it has also disadvantaged people who were holding foreign currency on your balance sheet. And so definitely, if you are holding large foreign currency in your balance sheet and you see the cedi appreciating, definitely you incur what we call FX loss. And so if at the end of 2024, the exchange rate was at 15 and you're having $1 million in your books, which is equivalent to 15 million cedis. By the end of 2025, when the rate went down, it's around 12 or it's at 10, the same 1 million will be giving you 10 million. So this is FX loss. So anybody who is holding any foreign currency instrument, foreign related instrument like gold, once it is priced in foreign currency, the appreciation of the currency, the disadvantage aspect of it is this. So when some people are happy because there has been appreciation of the cedi, these are the nuances. And so to end, if Bank of Ghana decide that we will scale up our reserves and then they incur losses as a result of that, it will be very difficult to blame that losses on the aggregator, which is Gold Board. Let's face the fact. Because there are different institutions. It's just like blaming NPA for TOS losses. It's just like blaming VRA for ECG's losses. These are different institutions. The fact that they link, let's be very, objective in analysis. The fact that they link does not mean that we should be blaming the institution that has taken into own policy decision.
But Doc, there have been conversations about holding ECG accountable for some of the losses.
No, I'm saying ECG. I'm saying that it's like blaming VRA for the losses of ECG.
Okay.
Or blaming NPA for the losses of TOR. The fact that they trade or they do business, the fact that they interrelate together in terms of business, does not mean that when one institution has taken decision, so if Bank of Ghana has taken decision that I will keep reserves in gold, assuming that the reserves Bank of Ghana kept in gold has also brought so much gain, who are we going to give credit to? Are we going to give credit to Bank of Ghana or the same Gold Board? So let us separate the institutions because they have different mandates, so that people who are listening and want to appreciate the nature of the issue will be able to understand the difference between the two. Otherwise, how do you expect Gold Board to answer questions about losses of Bank of Ghana? Let's ask the central bank, what are the reasons for your losses? And so let's be very objective.
So that's one side of the conversation. The other side of it, which the minority leader reiterated during that press conference, was you can't sell gold and make losses. And also the other side again being that...
who sells it? As far as you know, per the arrangement of DGPP, who sells them?
Yes, so he's talking about...
So
I'm talking about the general losses.
No, he didn't talk about general. He said it's Gold Board.
Okay.
So, and tell us.
So I just we should make I just want to ask him a follow-up question. You talk about this being losses because of the foreign currency issue. So you obviously disagree with what Dr. Fad is telling us, that if you scale up, you shouldn't be losing. You disagree with that based on your expert understanding of issues.
Anybody who is into business knows that the fact that you are increasing volume of your sales output does not mean that you should not make losses, because there are factors that contribute to volume. So, for instance, somebody decides to sell tomatoes, and based on one or two reasons, he decided that I will sell more tomatoes by reducing my prices, maybe in order to do away with the stock I have. That is to do away with certain stock in order not to run at total loss. So the fact that you are increasing volume, this is basic to every business. The fact that volumes are increasing does not mean that you should be making losses. Does not mean that you should also be making profit. It depends on the nature. But the aspect of Afenyomakin saying that, Honorable Afenyomakin saying that you cannot do business in gold and make loss, but the audited account of Gold Board shows that they didn't make loss.
I want to come to you, Lawyer Botu.
Yes. So I think that, as Dr. Tekpe said, this issue has been so politicized that it's very difficult to navigate. And I think the politicization has been on both sides. Because if Gold Board is attributing those losses to BOG, then why is Gold Board also accepting responsibility for the profits made from the DGPP? If indeed the losses for that program is being borne by BOG, since they act as an agent for BOG in this domestic gold purchasing program, then the same, whichever profit was reported, should be attributed to BOG, because the DGPP is not the only mandate of the Gold Board. You understand me? So I think that it's a step in the right direction that Gold Board has now decided to self-finance itself, going forward. Because if indeed BOG, which is a fact, BOG was the one financing most of the activities, then these profits and losses should be on the balance sheet of BOG as long as BOG is financing them. However, I think that it is not strange for Gold Board in their other mandates to say that they are making only a surplus and no loss. It is not amazing for a state institution to report only surplus and no loss, because Gold Board was set up with a specific mandate. It wasn't set up basically as a profit-making entity. So I believe that the IMF report, even though I think it's been twisted a bit to make it look like Gold Board is trying to hide something, still also...
You mean twisted by the minority?
By the minority. I don't think Gold Board is... Well, at least from the snippets I have heard. However, I think Sami Jeffy himself has come out to say that he is not afraid of appearing before PAC or any other institution to answer questions.
So, he said they don't like PAC.
Well, so on that tangent, I think that the minorities call for an ad hoc committee to look into all these issues. It's well,
please let him land, and I'll come to you for your final word on this.
I think it's necessary, because accountability, as I have always said for the past few years.
So you go for the bipartisan, the ad hoc committee that they are calling for?
Even though I don't think Gold Board has anything to hide. Accountability is on a day-to-day basis. You don't wait till the end of the year before you uncover that, we could have nipped this in the bud. So I agree with the ad hoc committee, even though I don't think, at least from what I know of Sami Jeffy so far, I don't think there's been any mismanagement or any underhand dealings. But I think that we should have it. And I would also call on both the majority and the minority that they should tone down a bit on the vindictiveness and other things about these bail conditions and things like that. Because as far as I know, as far as I know, most...
in that case, why has Sami Jeffy said anything about Afenyomakin's bill? Who said it? Please call the person out. Who brought that matter?
Of course, I know there's Afenyomakin who
wasn't necessary.
But I know that most, if not all, well, I won't say all, most politicians enter into politics in order to serve. You understand?
It's trying to
along the line, some may falter, and when they falter, they have to account. However, we shouldn't make it one of our core aims of politics to just look or what I call nitpicking, to just look for things that are wrong with our opponents. Because in the long run, it's the country that suffers. When they do well, praise them. When they do wrong, criticize them. But don't just go on this tangent of what I would call maybe witch hunting. I was going to say head hunting, but head hunting will be too much of a vague term.
I want to come back to you, and that would be your final word on this, and I'll give you the final word last before we move to the next subject. But there's a message coming in from MK Erickson Techiman. It says, I need an answer for this simple question, Beatrice. When Gold Board acted as Bank of Ghana's agent for the DGPP and generated a whopping $10.8 billion FX, was this amount lodged in the Gold Board's account or that of Bank of Ghana? Whatever FX generated by the GGB as an agent for the BOG went into the BOG's account. So why should the losses be ascribed and or pushed to the GGB? Let's be honest in our national discourse. That's coming from MK Erickson Techima. I want to give you the final word on this, and then we'll move to the next subject.
Final word on this. I think my honorable member here decided to be dishonest with some of the issues he decided to put out. When he was reading the report, I expected him to proceed further. But he got to a point that suited his narrative, then he left it there. But please, no, I have it. I already have it. So don't worry. Honorable. So in 2025, the significant scaling up of DGPP operations led to losses of over $1.7 billion. These are the causes of the losses. Conveniently decided not to read further to that point. Conveniently, honorable, respectfully. We all have the report, but for purpose of discussion, we decided to go ahead and discuss what is already out there. So please, respectfully, honorable. And he also went further to tell me that I should tell him specifically where the IMF stated that these losses were as a result of the operations of Gold Board. After reading this, you still ask me this question. Is it the difficulty in understanding this statement? Then let me make it very simple for you, honorable. There's something we call causal relationship. Doc, as a researcher, he knows this. There's something we call causal relationships between variables, right, Doc? So it indicates that the action of one variable leads to the effect in the other variable, right, Doc? That's the case, right? Researchers do say this. So, Mr. MP, there is a causal relationship between the operations of Bank of Ghana and the operations of Gold Board. Let's admit it. And also, he asked a question that the Gold Board books does not show any losses. I've already made this point. Probably you were not paying attention. I stated here that there are three separate institutions or three separate entities in this discussion. We have the Gold Board books, which does not report any losses, but rather some surplus of 900 million. This is the Gold Board books. Bank of Ghana books reported 9 billion Ghana cedi losses. These are the issues. So now you connect the dots. So, honorable, respectfully, if you want us to do that, we can do that very well. But then, to end on that matter, that we are running away from PAC and calling for another different avenue for political purposes. Is that the justification for your calling off that particular motion? Honorable, that's very unfair. Why? Because PAC has a responsibility to sit on matters bordering institutions. So Gold Board goes to PAC with its account, which in that account, no losses are reported. However, in other accounts that Gold Board's operations extend into, that's the Bank of Ghana account, there are these losses that connect to Gold Board. So we are only calling for the bipartisan investigation where Gold Board will attend to this committee, Bank of Ghana will also attend to the same committee, and their findings will be made out of that. So, honorable, respectfully, do not make the case that we are running away from accountability. How do we even do that? What do we lose over there? And lastly, he also emphasized it, that it is out of hatred. Honorable, nobody hates any political appointee in this country. An office that is coterminous to a political power, who hates you for that? So, honorable, respectfully, let's discuss the issues without bringing in this emotional sentiment. The issues are there. There's a 1.7 billion losses being made as a result of transactional operations, as a result of Kalabule Ejedie. Let's deal with it and minimize the losses. Thank you very much.
And I'm coming to you, Dr. Tekpe, but there's a message from Musa Abatwa in Aswase. He says, now that Sami Jemfi has laid the fact bare on the Gold Board loss claims, Where is Apenyo marking and the NPP's credibility? We are in the area of social media, technology and AI, where propaganda can no longer survive without scrutiny. The facts have been exposed, the unnecessary politicking and noise. Sami deserves commendation for setting the record straight, and he greets a number of people. Dr. Tekpe, I want to get your final thoughts on this.
Dr. Bawumia did some analysis, or the way he does his analysis on data is very good, such that he is able to break down what the data is and give an informed decision when he was giving the lecture on the economic data at the time. And the way he does is so comprehensive. And I think that if we want to appreciate the operations of Gold Board in terms of their financial data report versus what IMF did, we need to look at that style of Dr. Bawumia, where the minority should tell us exactly the IMF report. This is what it says versus what the outcome is. And then the correlation to Gold Board. Then they look at the analysis of the audited report as well, so that we appreciate the fact behind the figures. Other than that, it is concerning that an institution like the auditor's report will be, politicized in a way as if they didn't do a good job, and that was my concern. Otherwise, we will end up creating impression in the minds of people that our state institutions may not be doing their work as expected, especially when he said they didn't have information to access to certain information. That is why the outcome was that. I think that that is more of politics, and I want us to separate the political analysis from the objective analysis of the professional work that was done. Then it will help us to appreciate the report very. Rather than that, the whole issue about Gold Board and Bank of Ghana will be politicized. And so whatever you say, at the end of the day, it's like the politician has made up his mind that this is what I'll say. So because when I listen to Honorable Afenyo Markin and what he was saying versus Honorable Sami Jemfi, in fact, I think that is not the best for this country, because the words that are being used in bringing out the information that should educate people, unfortunately, certain negative words are overriding the essence of the education that people need to have. And that is why this discussion is ongoing, because people now see the whole Gold Bond institution as a political institution, and then whatever is being done there is just politics. But let us look at the professional way of handling things, so that the expert in both parties will come out and tell us the realities. Other than that, we'll be talking about the issues, but unfortunately, the politics will override the objective analysis that everybody wants to tell us.
So which one would you go for, the Public Accounts Committee or what the minority is asking for, which is the bipartisan ad hoc committee probe into this?
Once both are going to come out with the reality to tell us the objective aspect of both reports, I go for both, because PAC has its role to play, and then the bipartisan committee will also have its role to play. So if we want to, if the two institutions will bring a closure on the matter with their report, then fine, it is good for us to go about, so that after they are done, we don't come again and then muddy it with another political comment. That will destroy the whole thing.
This is coming from Prince Henry Koforidia. He says, in Eastern and Koforidia, the lights are back. Kudos to Gridco and the entire team. God bless our homeland, Ghana. So his light is back in Eastern region and specifically Koforidia as well. Lawyer, I want to get your final thoughts on this. So I'll come to you. I'll give you the I'm getting that of Lawyer Botiu. Yes, I'll come to you very shortly.
So, well, my final thoughts, I also want to rehash what I said, that I think we should have the ad hoc committee. And I want to borrow something from what Dr. Tekpe said, that we should, in going forward, we should have these explanations done without the usual politicization. We should utilize the technocrats more. We should utilize the experts. They can present these things without the necessary political color, because everybody wants to win 2028. So even if you are going to lay the facts bare, as long as it's not going to give your opponent that advantage, and it's understandable. Politics is an adversarial competitive game. But this Gold Board issue is so fundamental to the development of our country that let's have this ad hoc. Let's also have the technocrats. I mean, both parties also have their technocrats, people who speak with a neutral voice and do not stray into unnecessary politicization. Let's have them speak on this issue for the benefit of Ghanaians.
Look, see, there is nothing. I repeat, it's sheer politics and propaganda. There is absolutely nothing. Today you sit here, and after you've been exposed badly, you now talk about cause out. What did he say? Is there cause out? Did you hear the minority leader say? Were they not emphatic that gold board? You said something, and that was your trump card. You don't gold boka. You didn't hear that?
That's your worry.
Please,
that's your worry.
You heard them. Gold was your tomboka. So simplistic. Today you are talking about cause out. Causal
relationship.
Between who?
Between gold.
Did you ever hear Bank of Ghana in the argument they were making? Did they mention Bank of Ghana all this while? Did you hear them mention Bank of Ghana? After you've been exposed badly, now you come and then you are saying causa what? Leave that to the researcher. If you belong there, your man is doing politics. Let's do politics. That is exactly what you are here to do. Politics, pure politics. And you see, we would not join them in their politics. You see why they are running? Because there is nothing in there. The laws of the republic, and you're a lawyer, you know, it gives teeth to the Public Accounts Committee, except you want to do politics. After they are done with their report, the law, as enshrined, dictates what should happen. Why are you afraid of that one? If there is really something, you should really pray for the Public Accounts Committee to hold a gold board to the feet, rather than the politics you want us to do. Because you see, what would an ad hoc committee do? When they are done, yes, then. But the Public Accounts Committee, if indeed somebody has done anything untoward financially, it is the PAC. That is what the laws of the Republic, stipulates. So why are you afraid of PAC? And goodness, it is headed by the same person who is all over the place with press conferences and all that against the gold board. Abno Sasari, honorable. So you have the advantage. If you want to join, you can even, all these things you have on your laptop, send it to her. And let her do the work so that PAC will do the work. And at the end of the day, the report that comes out will be used for whatever according to the law. So we will not join you in that politics you want to do. NDC city, MPP city. Look, already you are worried that it's politicized. And you want us to further politicize by putting in place another. Check the record of ad hoc committees in this country. What happens to the report? What happens to that? Let's not just be interested. You said insofar as that will end in nothing. Nothing will come out of it. It will be the usual. We've started doing the politics. Right. So it will be the usual politics. The truth of the matter, he said I didn't read something. I'm surprised. These things, I stated it. The 1.7 is not in doubt. I'm saying, show me where it says it's gold board. That has included. You couldn't show. You see, my brother, look, eat a humble pie. Your minority leader has misled the entire party. And I'm not surprised. Tell him that he should eat a humble pie. This matter, it ends it. You know Bank of Ghana is an institution, a very reputable one. If you want to know why they incurred the loss of $1.7 billion, and then the $380 million in 2023, 400. That one you don't want to hear.
You making reference to past.
Yes, I want you to
land on your thoughts. To hear the past.
Land on your thoughts, and then we'll have to wrap up.
He said he doesn't want to hear 2023 and 2024.
Please land on your thoughts. Land on your thoughts, and I'll have to wrap up.
I'm telling you that. Hold it.
Justification of the
Dr. Fad, I want you to land on your thoughts. We need to end.
Let me land. I'm telling you that. You see, whatever arrangement there is today,
there's a loss.
It's an arrangement that was brought by your government. It is an arrangement. Hold on. And nothing. We didn't say there was anything.
Is in opposition.
All right.
You see, this thing will not help you. Relax.
Please end in a few seconds.
Are you uncomfortable with that? So please allow me. Yes. Yes. Be surprised.
These losses are because it happened in the past.
Nobody has said that. I am saying that these losses.
And that justification took the past.
That's what they asked you to do.
Dr. Fad,
nobody has to do it. So please allow. Let them listen.
Please end on your thoughts.
Yes, let me end. I am telling you that whatever we have here, 1.7 billion losses is. Which one is
admittedly losses?
Stop this. This is TV3, please. Whatever we have as loss and have been admitted, we've not said it never happened, is in the books of Bank of Ghana. And it happened in 2024, it happened in 2020. It's as a result of the policy you brought. The DGPP we have today was brought by your government.
It
is continuing. The good thing is that, as we speak, the gold board is now fully on itself. Gold board is not currently taking monies from the Bank of Ghana. Gold board is sourcing its own funds from the commercial banks. Going forward, if gold board comes next year and has an account which has losses, now that it is fully on its own, then we can have something to say. But in the meantime, it is Bank of Ghana laws. If you know or you have any questions for Bank of Ghana, put that across. It's been established that your people lied, that it was gold board that had, incurred those losses. And it's been established also that your people are running away from PAC, their own committee.
We'll have to end it here. Thank you very much. From Bolga, landlord Bolga D-Line says the entire Upper East region, Bolga Tanga, is so awful, and drawing Gridco's attention that Upper East region equally needs light, even as the officers work towards restoring power to all parts of the country. I want to say a big thank you to you, gentlemen. Mr. Kwame Nkrumah Botu Jr., private legal practitioner, thank you for joining us as always. Dr. Peter Tekpe, policy and economic analyst, thank you as well for joining us to have this conversation. To you as well, Dr. Osman Fat, director of communications for the NPP in the Bunu region, and to you as well, Honorable Bernard Bediakun, lawyer and member of parliament for Akwetia in the Eastern region. I want to say a big thank you to Pamoni Clothing in East Legon for my costume this morning, and also to Surprise Saloon for styling my hair today. And when we come back, we'll bring you the latest in sports and some more. Do stay with us. My name
TV3 Newday, and it is time for sports with 3 sports, of course. And this morning, that desk is represented by Oreku Ampofo. It's a saying.
Ayo.
I haven't seen you in a long time, Yamete.
I was saying that.
You left me here, went to the World Cup. Oh, buy a crowd, chocolate. You didn't even bring me. Yeah.
Your chocolate is there.
Are you sure?
I think it's the first time.
Oh, it's melted. Now I know it's melted. It's melted away, so it's okay. Yeah. But it's good to see you.
Yeah, it's very good to see you.
What's happening with our football? Are things improving now after the World Cup? I've been wanting to ask what we did with the money that we got from the World Cup. Has it arrived or has it hit our accounts yet?
So interestingly, we will have an idea later this morning.
Okay.
Congress is expected to start in the next few minutes at Pram, the Ghana Soccer Center for Excellence, where, as usual, the shareholders, the decision makers in Ghana football convene from the GFA and beyond, all the clubs, to make decisions and sort of get information on a review of how the past year has been. And so there will be an account.
Are these live footages?
No, this is from the 31st one.
Oh, okay.
The one happening today is the
32nd
yes.
one. Okay.
And so, so there'll be accounts on, the activities that has taken place. There would be information on the account balance, what the money was used for, what money came in and all of that. And then there would also be enforcement of new rules, new policies that we don't really have an idea of yet. There would also be the talk of the new GPL season coming. Will there be more prize money? Will there be change in, how operations work, whether are there new sponsors and all of that? And so we'll be getting all of those details. We'll be crossing over live sometime during Sports Daily later this morning. And so if you join us, we have reporters on the ground and everything, so we're bringing you up to date.
It's going to be a very long day.
Yeah.
Because as usual, the fallouts will determine how the conversation would go or which direction the conversation will be headed for the rest of today. And I bet all through the weekend as well, when all of you sports analysts sit down and take a look at the fallouts from the 32nd Congress. So we look forward to it, and please bring us all the updates.
Yeah.
Let's head to the women's WAFCON. What is happening with the Malawian team?
Well, so Malawi, although they did not win the competition, they received a rousing welcome when they got back to their country. Lost the final by 3-0, but through no fault of theirs. At the end of the day, it's about the bigger picture. And headed into the tournament, Malawi were the lowest ranked African team at the AFCON.
Oh, wow.
And so everyone expected them to be, the whooping girls, where even Ghana beat them 4-0 before the tournament started. No one really expected anything from them. And then they started their tournament by beating Nigeria. And everyone is like, okay, maybe this may be a fluke. But they go on to progress from their group, and then they beat Ghana in the quarterfinals, which means that automatically they qualify for the World Cup for the first time in their history. And so they are true. I think that they stood out, and they are duly being rewarded and also receiving the recognition that they deserve, because absolutely no one expected any of this.
Right. Congratulations to them. I see that people are happy to see them.
Yeah.
Yes, congratulations.
As it should be.
Yes, as it should be. As it should be. Anyway, let's move to some international football. And there's a video analyst called what? Give me the name. Gregory de Grau. De Grau.
Yeah.
I would have said De Growy. I always say I don't know how you guys do with the names, but who is he? What does he do, and what's the latest on him?
So he worked as a set piece analyst / video analyst for the Black Stars. Was appointed in January 2025. Has been working over the past year and a half with the Black Stars. Was at the World Cup with the national team as well. And just after that, he has moved to the Saudi Pro League. And I think it's
as an analyst.
Yes.
As an analyst.
As a set pieces, and then / assistant
You know
coach.
when the phrase set pieces resonated with me, it was during the World Cup.
Where
you analysts would say they didn't take advantage of the set pieces.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are set pieces? And then I got to understand what set pieces were.
Oh,
also,
yeah,
there are analysts for set pieces.
Yeah, nowadays there are ones they specialize in corners,
Hey.
throw-ins, basically every dead ball situation.
Football is a whole institution.
Yeah, indeed.
Wow.
No, a few years ago would have been you would have sounded like you're out of your mind if you said that there will be a coach for corner kicks.
Can you imagine?
But now teams are actually signing contracts, and he's going to the Saudi Pro League, and he will be with Al Khalud, and they actually started the season very well with a 1-1 draw against Al Ittihad, who are a very strong side, and so I think it's been a good start for him. As to whether this is the end for him with the national team, we're not too sure, because when he was at Belgium, he was still combining his club with his national team duties. And so, we're not clear about a lot of things in Ghana yet.
Right.
We don't even know who the coach will be. And so, yeah, I think things will be much clearer in the next few weeks.
Okay. Especially after today's Congress, I'm sure we would also know.
Hopefully, yes.
Okay. All right. Now, let's go to England and Harry Kane, who made a lot of headlines during the World Cup, has achieved something wonderful again.
Well,
what has he gotten this time?
Well, so for Harry Kane, it's about last season. And I think that if you are looking at the reason why he has been in Ballon d'Or conversations is that, Harry Kane, he was immense with Bayern Munich. And there was actually a point where, I mean, it's still possible, but they were looking at potentially, can he even break Messi's 91 goal calendar record? And I mean, it's still possible, but it just means that he needs to score at an incredible rate. But for Kane, I think that it's been a good move from him, especially from Tottenham Hotspur to Bayern Munich, where he's considered as some of the elites now in world football. I think last season he scored 36 goals, which amounted to 72 points in the ranking for the Golden Boot. And so there was no one closer. And if he continues on such a run, definitely he would be in the conversation as to whether he can break Messi's 91 goal calendar year record.
European Golden Boot. Okay. Congratulations to him. We look forward to his exploits. As the season hasn't started yet, has it?
For some it has, but it technically starts this weekend where everybody will start playing.
So this weekend is a very busy one.
Yeah, so from tomorrow, Arsenal are in action against Coventry.
Okay.
And then the Premier League starts. La Liga started last week. Bundesliga starts. French Liga and all of that. And so, just like that, we are back again.
I know, right? So Caleb Urenchi will be in action tomorrow for Coventry.
Hopefully.
As well as Brandon...
Thomas Asante, yes.
Thomas Asante.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll be looking out for him because I'm really interested in the growth of Caleb Urenchi. Let's see how that pans out for him. Yeah. Okay. Let's close with tennis. What's happening? What's the latest?
So for tennis, we'll be looking at Aryna Sabalenka. Now, she has started preparations for her U.S. Open title defense. However, it didn't go too well. The Cincinnati Open for her, as she lost to Sarah Bejlek in the 4th round. And she ended up having to lose that one by 7-6, 9-7, 6-4. And so 2 straight set defeats for Sabalenka. But I mean, it's usually, it doesn't mean much, especially ahead of majors. The Grand Slams usually tell a very different story. And so I think at the end of the day, this Masters 1,500 tours are just all preparatory and usually doesn't really mean much. For Sabalenka, I think she'll be very confident. She's been in good spirit and good form. And we'll see how the US Open goes in a few weeks' time.
Okay. All right, Oreku. Thank you very much for bringing us all the updates this morning. At 10 a.m., is it still Mundial Daily or what is it now?
Now it's back to Sports Daily.
It's back to Sports Daily, so it's not Mundial Daily. It's back to Sports Daily. Okay, we'll catch you a little after 10. Thank you very much. You get to cash out with us this morning also. Star 439 hash if you're a Telecel or MTN subscriber. It's time for you to win. If you haven't played already, this is your chance to play. What are you waiting for? 500 Ghana cedis as you prep for the big jackpot tomorrow. But in the meantime, today, option 2, which is the TV3 option, is your best bet to win 500 Ghana cedis. Let's take a break as you play. When I return, I will announce the first winner for the morning. Star 439 hash if you're a Telecel or MTN subscriber. We'll be right back.
Hello, my name is Pamela from customer service. Please revalidate your account by texting your
And I'm sure there are people like me out there. What's so special about you, your school, and some of the students you've churned out over the years and what they've been able to achieve?
Well, St. John's School is a Catholic boys' school established in the western region of Ghana, specifically in Second D, as you have said. St. John's School is one of the best schools in Ghana. It's among the best schools and very reputable schools in Ghana. This school was established 75 years ago, and so you can imagine what has happened over the last 75 years. But what is most important about us is not just the edifice. I mean, I think we have the most beautiful church building in all of Ghana in the schools. You should look at the architecture. It's fantastic, among other ones. But we're not so keen in just only the infrastructure per se. We're more keen in what the educational institution is meant to produce. And so it's about the education, what it provides young people. And as a Catholic education, you can actually trust the discipline, you can trust the attitudes that's imbibed, the skills. So St. John's provides knowledge, skills, attitude now, and then also values that we have learned from there. That has shaped so many young men's life in various parts of Ghana and the world over, contributing significantly in many aspects of it. So we have so many old students across the world and in Ghana here who are having great impact in their society. What's important for us is that young men go through that and become successful.
Fantastic. And now, it's been 75 years. What does this milestone actually mean for you as executives, number one, for current students in the school, and for the old saints as well? Because you tell me that once you are done, you become an old saint.
Exactly.
All right. Tell me what this milestone means to you.
75 years is a very significant milestone in the life of any institution. And so if you look at the theme for this anniversary, which is 75 years strong, united in purpose and committed to excellence. Let me divide it into three. 75 years strong. And this is simply because we have been able to put together strong institutions in our history. And we have had a huge achievement in academics, in sports, and in all facets of life. So 75 years, St. John's has grown strong and has nurtured so many people. Then when you look at the committed to excellence, or if you look at uniting for a good purpose, this is particularly to the old students. It's an opportunity to call all of them to continually to be united for one common purpose. It's St. John's that brings us together, irrespective of where you are, whether you are in the UK, US, Ghana, whether you belong to the 1989 or 2003 year group, or whether you live in Takoradi or Accra. St. John's is that purpose that unites us. And when we come together, the applause is loud, the impact is fantastic.
I can
and then
imagine.
Finally, if you look at the last part, which says that committed to excellence, St. John's always provides, our objective is to make sure that we're providing that excellence. So we provide a culture of excellence in our school. And that means that for the next generation, we want to continue to deepen that excellence to make sure that the current students are given the best opportunity in terms of their academics, in terms of the environment, to give the very best so that when they come out into society, we can have majority of our old saints ready to contribute to their communities and to the school.
Absolutely. I'll come to you, Mr. Samaple. You are part of the planning committee. Tell me, how much work has gone into the 75th anniversary celebrations?
Okay, what we are doing now is on coming Saturday, we are going to launch the anniversary and also raise some funds to build a legacy, build a futuristic 15 classroom blocks at St. John's.
Futuristic 15 classroom block.
Yes.
Oh, what informed that decision?
Yeah, we realized in the inception of free SHS, where our school has been receiving a lot of students, which has made our school handicapped in classrooms. So we decided to help the government in getting classroom blocks so that we'll do away with double track at our school. Yeah.
That must be a lot of money.
Yes.
So
it will cost us almost about 6.5 million Ghana cedis.
Oh, wow. And how do you intend to raise this money? All through the students or external bodies are also invited?
Yeah, we are going to levy every All Saints, go to the chapters, the year groups, and go to the corporate world to ask for an assistance.
So that's where the money is going to come from. Has the foundation been laid already, or the project is just about to be unveiled?
We're about to commence everything. We have had all students who have started making donations and corporate Ghana, like he said. We've also levied all our year groups and everyone. We're also using this medium to invite all our old students wherever they are. We know that your station reaches very far.
It is.
So we're calling on everyone to come back to St. John's. Our motto is Veam Parantis, preparing the way.
Say that again.
Veam Parantis.
Veam Parantis.
Preparing the way.
Okay.
Now that motto is more timely as much as our theme is because our role as old students is continually to prepare the way for the next generation. When we entered St. John's School, others had prepared the way for us. We did not go with a basketball court. We did not go with a classroom or a dormitory. Some people laid all of that for us. It has reached our turn to also prepare the way for the next generation of young people who would find themselves in our school to make a difference. And so that's what we're doing.
All right. So the launch is this Saturday in Accra.
Exactly.
Okay. So what happens after the launch on Saturday? Are we taking the celebrations back to school? What's happening for the rest of the year?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, St. John's is physically in Second D.
Okay.
But the St. John's family has grown beyond Second D to Ghana and the world over.
Right.
And we know that there are many of the corporate organizations and a lot of All Saints living in Accra. So we brought the launch here in Accra in order to give it a national flavor and to begin the start from here. It's very strategic to start from Accra, but everything is going back to Second D where St. John's is. We have we have so many activities lined up for the anniversary, and we have other activities preceding this, more fundraising activities, more activities to connect All Saints even before. But the main anniversary is it will come on from 8th to the 14th of March, 2027.
27. So that will be next year.
Exactly.
But this Saturday is just the launch.
Exactly.
Mr. Maple, you haven't told us what time the launch is and where.
Yeah, the time is 10 a.m.
to
2. Then we are going to hold the program at British Council Hall Auditorium.
Okay. Who is invited? Everyone?
We have invited, everyone is invited, but we have Dr. Benya as the chairman. Special guest is All Saints, Justice Amon, and Enrique Subonten as the speaker.
Okay. So those are the people who are... Oh, so there you have it on the screens, powerful speakers. Is that you I see over there? No, I don't think it's you, right?
It's me.
Oh, it's you, right? Yeah, so I was right. Also, you're speaking on that day as well. So that's the 22nd of August 2026, British Council Auditorium, 10 a.m. sharp. The program will be underway. And of course, when you're coming, bring your checkbooks, bring your Momo wallets, bring everything of yours when it comes to the financials, because we'll be collecting money on that day. We need money. Your last words to the new saints in school right now, the old saints and all your associates before we go.
Yeah, well, my last word is those at the school, I will urge them to stay there. They should look at what the old boys are doing. So when they go out of St. John's School, they will also go back and give back to St. John's School. My last, I will urge all old saints to come to the venue, come and support St. John's School and give back.
Mr. Minsky, your last words.
My final words, I will take a quote that says that the future is not some place we are going to, but one that we are creating. The paths to it are made, but not found. But in the process of making it, it changes both the maker and their destination. I use the opportunity to call on all old saints that the future we want to create for St. John's is not just found, we make it. And we are consciously going to make this happen. We want to invest in infrastructure to ensure that the academics of the students and the environment are more better. The teaching and learning materials are more modern to support their learning. And that's why we're doing this 15-unit classroom block together with the
3 ultra-modern laboratories for language, music, and art. So we're inviting all of them to come back. Let's support, let's prepare the way for the next generation, and let's make a big difference.
We wish you all the very best, both Old Saints and the new ones. Henry Morgan Minsky is the global chairman, Global Old Saints Association, and Vincent Summerplay is a former GEC executive member and also a member of the planning committee for the 75th anniversary celebrations. We'll see you on Saturday, 10 a.m. Have a great day.
Thank you.
All right.
And you are invited.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. So if you already played, it's time for you to win now. Let's take a look at the dashboard, or otherwise we'll take a break now, get into another conversation, and then we can start dishing out the money. But attention to all first year parents of SHS boarding students. EduPack, the Ghana Education Service approved and supported national SHS initiative implemented by Prospectus Ghana is now in progress across the country. Now, parents across Ghana are already registering so that their children's truck, Macintosh mattress, pillow, and plastic chopbox will be ready and waiting at their school before reporting day. Do not delay and be caught in the usual last-minute market rush. Carrying heavy items under pressure. We don't do that anymore. So with EduPack, your child does not need to travel to school with these 4 essential items. So to register, you can only dial *713 *821 hash, *713 *821 hash, or you can also visit any ADB branch or go to www.edupackgh.com. You make payments, you keep your receipts, and present it on opening day to collect all your child's EduPack items. Your EduPack registration follows you to any SHS you are placed in to avoid all the stress. So please take notes and make sure that you are a part of all the goodness that comes with the EduPack. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think we'll get into our second conversation before we say goodbye this morning. So from St. John's School, we are coming to the cash people, the people who have the money. EcoBank is here with us, represented by William Danswabiam, Head Consumer Commercial Banking Products, and Jerry Sian Lash, Head Liability Products, Remittance and Mobile Money. Good morning.
Good morning.
It's good to have you in studio.
Good to be here.
First of all, is the bullion van outside? You brought the cash? Why are you people laughing? I don't like it when you bank people come and ask about bullion van and you are laughing. Or you make it e-cash.
Oh, we've gone
it's
digital.
going
Of
to
course,
be.
it's all digital.
Okay, listen, there's a whole lot of wahala in our homes. These kids have stayed in the house for far too long. The food is finished. The juices are done, and they don't like to drink water.
Yeah.
So at this point, I don't even know what we can do. So this has come in handy.
Absolutely.
Talk to us about the EcoBank Back to School promotion. What's going on?
All right,
with
thank
it?
you. Thank you. Good morning, and it's great to be here. So, you know, it's the school season is just about beginning.
Right.
So a few weeks, a few months, depending on which school you are. And when it starts like that, there are a lot of needs from the school to the parents, to teachers, to workers, and everybody within the stake,
Right.
you know, within the space. So what EcoBank is saying is that for all the needs you would have, if you're a school, there's a possibility you have some needs to do some renovations, buy some assets, possibly still pay utility here and there. School fees are not coming at this moment. We have some solutions for you. If you're a parent, you need to make school fees payment, we have solutions for you. If you need to receive money to be able to do that, we have solutions for you. If you're a teacher at this moment, you know, you need something to support yourself, we have solutions for you. So basically, the EcoBank Back to School campaign is that as long as you are in this space and the school season is about to begin, whatever need you have, talk to us and we will be able to provide that for you.
Wow, whatever need.
Absolutely.
From school fees to feeding to all of that. Are you sure?
We will deal with it.
Oh, wow. I love the sound of that, though. He said we would deal with it. All right. Is this William?
This is
oh,
William.
this is William.
I'm Jerry.
Okay. So you are Jerry. Now, Jerry, tell me, how beneficial is this back to school promo for the pupils in school, of course, the parents, and you as EcoBank?
Yes. So what we've put together is, as a parent, what you'll be thinking about is how to pay your school fees.
Okay.
And family and friends also come in to help. So we are saying that you don't need to go to a bank to receive your remittance.
Okay.
Give your account number to the sender. They'll be able to send the money directly into
Everywhere
your
in the world? Anywhere in the
Everywhere.
world?
Through MoneyGram, to Western Union, RIA, Unity Transfer, all the remittance institutions.
No,
that
Jerry,
you have.
wait. Say that again. So now I don't even need to give my Momo number out to anybody or whatever.
Walk to the bank.
Once I have
all
an
the
account
stress.
with EcoBank,
That's all you
I
need.
can just give the account number, and wherever they are in the world, they can send the money through.
Instantly.
How does that work, though? This is
That is-
technology.
Exactly.
Wow.
Aside that, as a parent, we've also put together some facilities that can help you to also support you in this time. Like you said,
Right.
everything is finished at home.
Everything.
But I'll be able to support you in terms of financing whatever relates to the kids and everything
Are
that
you
has
sure
to
you
be
don't
in
need
school.
any collaterals, William? No collaterals, nothing?
No, I mean, that's the beauty of it.
Okay.
So you need to pay for fees,
Okay.
right? All we are saying is that talk to us. It's not a collateral issue.
Okay.
Once you have an EcoBank account, your salary is coming through, we'll be able to give you a solution. And up to $200,000 equivalent in cedis for up to 84 months.
Okay.
We can do that for you. We even have a special school fees loan. This is with partner schools. We have schools that we've had an agreement with them that we actually give you a facility. So you take your bill,
Oh, wow.
we pay for you, align with your monthly payment, and then we have a sweetener in there. When you call us, we'll definitely talk about that. So beyond the personal loan that we have for the parents, we also have facilities for schools as well. If you're a school, you need a solution at this time, especially you need to buy a bus, you need to fix a bus, you need to do a major repair, possibly in the school there. We have solutions for you. We have asset financing solutions. All we need is that just talk to us and we'll be able to help you. There are those who are also thinking about, how do I even pay my fees? If you're a school, you are thinking about how quickly can I receive.
Yeah.
We have digital collection platforms, whether through POS, through web acquiring. We can also do it on our mobile app for you so that parents can pay directly into your account. Even if you need a support for on-prem cash collection, we can do that with our agency banking.
People are doing a lot, pal.
Absolutely.
Wow.
We need to provide convenience.
Things have
for
really
people.
changed.
That's what we
I
are
see
doing
a lot
now.
of things
Yeah.
have changed. I see. And you know, reopening is coupled with the rush for stationery, textbooks, and all of that. Is it only the school fees you pay, or you can also buy these textbooks for us?
It's amazing. So we have a partnership with institutions like Kingdom.
Okay.
Right? And you get discount. If you use your EcoBank card at this time to do purchases, you have discount with them. Another thing is that we also have a consumer finance solution with institutions like Electroland, Somotex, and others. If you need to buy something, you may not have the cash on hand, but the consumer finance solution allows you to pick it up.
And EcoBank will pay for me.
Exactly. Then up to 18 months, we'll spread it for you.
18 months.
Even Prospectus Ghana, it's also part of this, and we have an arrangement.
I
with them
just
as
read
well.
their LPM.
Absolutely.
So you can buy my Macintosh, my Chopbox, and
I
all
can do
of
that
that
for
for
you
me,
and spread it
and
for
I'll
you.
pay it later.
Yes.
Oh wow, Jerry, if I'm not an EcoBank customer yet, is it too late for me?
No, it's not too
Okay,
late.
so what can I do?
The
Because there
question
are
I'll ask
thousands
is,
of them out there.
What are you waiting for?
Okay.
Just switch to EcoBank. Join the family.
Today.
Today.
So you're not now going to tell me that, oh, I just opened the account. You want to monitor how the account inflows are before you help
Just
me.
bring along your Ghana card number.
Okay.
We'll get you a salary account. And the account itself comes with benefits, including free insurance, up to a 10,000 Ghana cedi.
People are doing all.
Hospitalization, disability, even retrenchment.
Yeah.
That insurance will support you.
Wow.
So if you are out there and you've not switched yet, today, just as you said, switch to EcoBank.
Right now.
And
You have
all
to switch.
these that has been mentioned earlier will be upfront for you to enjoy.
All right. Is there anywhere else after this interview I can get more information? Where can I go to?
Absolutely. So our contact center is available 247, and you can reach them on our toll-free line 080-000-3225.
Okay.
And once you get in touch with them, any information you want regarding this conversation, you could have it. I can repeat that.
Yes, Will. I was just going to tell you because people are very interested.
Yeah.
So please take it
it's
again.
080
080-3225. Okay.
080-000-3225.
The zeros are 4.
Yes.
Yes, the zeros are 4 after the 8.
Exactly.
Okay.
And 322.
All right.
And once you reach out to us, we'll give you any explanation you want around the conversations that we've had this morning.
This is juicy. I'm also interested in the sweetener you talked about. Yes. So we'll be calling and getting all the information that we need. But is there a cutoff point for this promotion? How long is it lasting for?
There's no cutoff point. Okay. So we keep talking about it. Once you have any, just reach out to us. It could be now, it could be September, it could be October. And please just reach out to us and we'll be able to support you.
Okay. You
just
heard it.
to add to that, just as we are thinking about the kids, we are thinking about the parents and the schools. Know that the fraudsters are also watching us.
Okay.
So please, we will not call to ask of your PIN, your login credentials, your card details. EcoBank will not do that. Anyone who does that is not from us.
All right.
Drop the line and call the toll-free number.
Thank you for that information. Jerry Siaulash is head liability products, remittance and mobile money, as well as William Danswabiam, head consumer commercial banking products. It's raining a lot of goodies at EcoBank, especially for this back to school season. Take advantage of it and don't wait till the last minute. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
We'll see you again soon. All right. At this moment, if you have not played, I think it's too late because I'm just about to dish out 500 Ghana cedis to 3 of you. But before that, cheers to a new day of amazing opportunities. Stop disinformation, misinformation. Access e-copies of Daily Graphic Business, The Mirror, Junior Graphic Sports, and Graphic Showbiz on the go everywhere you are. Download the Graphic News Plus app and subscribe now. Enjoy a great day from Graphic. All right, Coco, is the dashboard ready? Is the dashboard ready? Let's get to see who our first winner of 500 Ghana cedis is this morning. And Beatrice Edu has joined me back on set. Okay, Auntie B, maybe you have to do the first announcement for us.
0244 what? Okay, 0244 618 dash. So you know, if it's your number, congratulations to you. How much is the person getting?
500 Ghana cedis. Yes, 500,
wow.
Yeah.
A cool Thursday, a day before the weekend begins.
Yes. And I need them to save all of that because tomorrow is the jackpot.
Yes,
tomorrow is the big
10K.
one. 10K.
Wow.
Cash money cookie. I'm back and it's about to rain money right here on TV3 Newday. So tomorrow is the big jackpot. You're choosing option 8 tomorrow to win 10,000 Ghana cedis.
So you have
altogether.
to start strategizing now.
So keep the money you won today or don't go and spend it. Keep the money you won today so you can play tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay.
But
you have an information for us.
That it's time to make that move. It's time for a cold Malta Guinness. When the mind, body and Malta Guinness unite, nothing is beyond your reach. So whip up your daily pursuit with the revitalizing taste of Malta Guinness, packed with B vitamins. Charge forward towards your goals with each sip of its nourishing natural goodness. Now with a new look. Remember to always look out for the proudly made in Ghana symbol on every bottle or can of Malta Guinness. Malta Guinness, we move. And if it's your birthday, we want to help you celebrate it big. But before that, though, the 23rd Ghana International Book Fair 2026 will take place from Thursday, 27th August 2026 to Sunday, 30th August 2026 at the National Theatre, Accra from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily. The theme for this year's celebration is Transforming Ghana's Future Through Books. This year's event is going to be exceptional, so we entreat all parents, teachers, and the general public to be part of this year's book fair. Bring your kids and students to purchase books and educational materials at highly discounted prices in a relaxed environment. There will be interesting and exciting literacy programs such as discount book sales, Ghana Star Reader Competition, Reading with Champions workshops, training sessions, children's shows, book awards ceremony, and many more. Remember, the date is from 27th August to 30th August 2026 at the National Theatre from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily. For further inquiries and registration, you can contact 059 862-3330 or 030-397-0438 or email info@ghanabookfair.com. and you get to have all that you need to know. So remember, you can equally visit www.ghanabookfair.com for further information. And if it's your birthday, we always do it here, help you celebrate it big. Mrs. Grace Oforiata, inside Bema Camp from Esther. Happy birthday to you, Mrs. Kakra Uredu Danso and K Danso. Happy birthday to you of Kaneshi Presby Church. Happy birthday to you. Regina Efia Amankwa. Happy birthday of Takwa Hilltop Junction. Happy birthday to you. Commissioner of Police, Mami Yatiwa. Oh, okay.
Oh.
Wow, special
wow.
birthday to you.
It's a birthday today?
Yes.
Okay.
Happy birthday to you, ma'am.
Lawyer Benning Bafo Clinton. Cheers to greatness. Happy birthday, Esquire. Okay. Juliana Obing is from your son, Nesty. Happy birthday, ma'am. All right. Edwin Nanime of Consica Limited is from your wife, Christina. Okay. Enoch Obobi, aka Ego. Hey, little man with ego. All right. This one is from Reverend Ebenezer Daddy and Mama Rosina. Okay. Vera. Hey, Charlie Vera, this is your photo shoot today. It looks like my photo be proud. Vera Dumenyo. God bless you. Yes.
The dress.
This pose I've done some before with the same window, car window like this. No. But yeah. It's beautiful. Happy birthday to you, Vera. Okay. Peggy Ama Donko is from Joshua here at TV3, channel manager GTV. Our neighbors, happy birthday to you, neighbor.
Yes. She's been there for so long.
Oh, you know her, right?
Yes.
W.O. Kofia Pasa. I think so. Happy birthday to you is from Peggy. Okay. Dickness Julie Ampohima Jaba of COP Memorial Temple. Happy birthday, Tashinugwa is from Peggy as well. Okay, I think that should be the last one for today. We've run out of time, so we have to quickly say goodbye.
Yes.
But we do promise tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. we'll be back. If you still do not have lights, we are sorry, but hopefully Gridco is still working on restoring power everywhere in the country. I am Beatrice Edu.
Yes,
I am
Beatrice.
Yes, you are Cookie Tea. We'll see you again tomorrow morning.
Sure.